secure a spot in the postseason. Then it just remains to be determined where they'll be, the 2 seed, the wild card.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But it can happen tonight, locking in a postseason appearance. How about that?
How about on that road trip, thinking, where is this team going right now? When they were in Tampa Bay, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is terrible timing. They've turned it around, and what a great luxury to have. I mean, there's still 6 games left, and there is an ability to actually get a bye at some point. So it's just it's unbelievable the run that they've been on, and it's just such a relief. I mean, I feel like it's finally here.
I know it's been a long season, but it's also gone quick as well. I mean, it's certainly some extreme highs and extreme lows at points, and here we are with the potential of the number 2 seed, and we'll see what goes on. You got Bryce Miller going tonight up against McCade Brown. That's a cool sports name, McCade Brown. But McCade Brown is 0-4 with a 9.17 ERA. That feels like somebody you should beat up on. I haven't watched him pitch. I don't know what he looks like, but that feels like you should be going nuts with this guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think that the Mariners are going to treat this thing any differently at all. They are all dialed in. It's all about business and everything. But when you look at the Colorado Rockies, it's hard to imagine the Mariners dropping a game to this team. But look, we're looking for a series win, right? Trying not to be too greedy, but
let's be greedy. There's 6 left. Let's just take them all.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to see that.
I'll settle for a 5-1, but let's go 6-0.
Yeah.
Let's do that. And yeah, you don't lose to McCade Brown with a 9.17 ERA. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and what if he goes out there and deals? And
I
how
be
disappointed
unhappy.
are you going to be? I mean, I think there is a certain level of expectation.
I'll be wildly unhappy, Dave.
Wildly unhappy.
Yeah, I will be very, very disappointed if they get this guy comes out and just locks them down. That would be very upsetting.
I just don't see a scenario where that happens right now.
I don't either. This team is just, I mean, like we said, this team is a Matt Brash off night away from a 15-game winning streak right now.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that they had the lead. That felt like a win, and he gave it up. It was a bad night for him. Had that not happened, and they were able to hold that lead, 15-game winning streak right now.
Yeah,
and you've got a team here that you absolutely should beat.
Right.
You absolutely should beat this team.
And I'm just looking at their stat page on ESPN, and so they have team leaders up there, and there's one guy, Bob. His name's Hunter Goodman.
Mm-hmm.
He's a catcher.
Yeah.
30 home runs. That's good. That's good. His on-base percentage, he's not the leader. That's Jordan Beck, the left fielder. But, they have RBI, home run, hits, and then batting average, and he is a top 4 of the 5 categories there.
So their catcher is their stud as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
They got a good catcher. I think he's a fine ball player. But come on, man. This is going to be one, I think, where they go up in a very business-like way and win this game.
I wonder if they go with celebration tonight, if they do lock it up. And now the Yankees need to do their part. They beat the White Sox, which the White Sox are horrible, so they should. But
that's a good question.
I wonder if they're like, you know what, we're gonna save the champagne and the celebration for locking in the number 2 seed or winning the division and that. I mean, look, getting to the postseason, locking that in, just having a spot in the postseason is an accomplishment because we've talked about it. It's been a bit of a drought up until 2022, and then that was the last time. So it's worthy of a celebration, but I could see them being low-key, like, yeah, this is great. We're in it. We're in the mix. Now we need to secure our spot, and we'll celebrate when the division is in hand.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny you bring that up. I had not even really thought about that, but I'm sure that Dan has.
Yeah.
And he's got a plan, and, and I think you can put yourself in a much better position. So, yeah, I mean, now that you ask it, I'm like, I feel like if, that's like the bare minimum. Like, we made the playoffs, but there's more to fight for still.
Oh, yeah.
So,
because last time, 22, I went into that clubhouse afterwards, and it was champagne and cigars and sprayed everywhere, and everybody's celebrating. They got the goggles on.
Mm-hmm.
That was just getting into the postseason. That was that celebration. So, the division wasn't in hand at that point. Now you have a chance for it. So I wonder if it'd be a little muted, like, hey, maybe some beers and drinks and little mini celebration, but let's save let's save the plastic wrap of the lockers for the division.
Yeah. Well, and here's what I would expect now that you bring it up. I would say maybe like a lengthy celebration on the field, and then, maybe the guys going around and slapping high fives with the fans and stuff. We're going to the playoffs. It's an accomplishment, no question about it. But just having more work to be done, I feel like that would be one where, you would save the goggles and all that for, hey, let's get a bye.
Yeah. Hey, one programming note. Justin Hollander, Mariners GM, will join us in person to start the show tomorrow. We'll be broadcasting live from T-Mobile Park. So,
of course, because I'm gone.
I think that's the rule.
You get all the good guests on when I
that's Lefko puts his nose to the grindstone when he knows you're out.
He did ask Dave. Justin said, who's going to be there? Which host will be there? I said, Ryan Roland Smith will be there with Bob. He goes, all right, perfect. Let's start the show then.
I don't know why he hates you so much.
I don't know.
It's a weird thing, that hate. Yeah. No, he doesn't hate
him. That'll be a great interview. Love talking to Justin. He does a great job. And
we talked to him, right? Were you gone that day? We talked to him after the trade deadline?
No.
You were there?
I was there.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was fantastic and answered all our questions, and was pretty forthcoming about as much as he can tell us. Right. There's some things he can't, but him and Jerry have done a great job. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't think anybody's complaining about it, obviously, but I think it's very vindicating for those two guys.
Yeah, I'm sure they do feel that way. Yeah, I mean, I think they got a lot of love, deservedly so, at the trade deadline. With what they did and the word was they were thought to be they were certainly in the mix. They were thought to be the front runner for Duran for the bullpen, and that last minute didn't happen. So, I mean, they weren't set on just Caleb Ferguson. They thought they had procured another arm, a dominant arm, and it just didn't happen. So good on them. I mean, you brought in pieces. We've been raving about the fit and raving about the presence and the just the chemistry that is developed in that clubhouse, and that's due in large part to who was already there, certainly with Cal and Julio and JP, really the leaders on that team, but bringing in somebody like Naylor and a known entity in Gino.
Well, and the other thing is, and I was going to ask the question, like, who has been like the shot of adrenaline on this team right now? Because there's a couple of guys that come to mind for me, and one is, as you mentioned, Josh Naylor. I mean, just his knowledge of the game, how dialed in he is all the time. He thinks it's a hitter's park. He loves the fans, all that. And then, the other one to me would be Victor Robles. And I'm not just saying it because of the one catch that he had. He hit a bomb the other day. He steals bases. He is like a spark plug to this team right now. But, if I had to pick one guy, you could throw Julio in there too. I mean, Julio has finally gotten to a very reliable point in the season where he doesn't have these like power outages, or at least maybe he does for a game. So there's a lot to choose from there. But I think Naylor, and just his seriousness and his knowledge of the game, and then just his production, how reliable he is at first base and on the base paths as well. He knows all the rules. And I don't know if we talked about this yesterday, that one, which I don't even know how to explain it, but he was headed home, and I think it was a force out, and he ran all the way in on the grass towards home plate, and it's something about reestablishing the line.
Baseline.
The what?
The baseline.
Yeah, the baseline. So, I mean, he knew all about that. I mean, he's just a very dialed in player. So, I would have to say like he's probably been the biggest spark plug. But,
there's been a number of them. Polanco's been huge for this team.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, he's just quietly, had that long hitting streak, 7 games in a row with at least one double, had 3 doubles in one game. I mean, he's been kind of the quiet assassin for this team. And then Julio's been their best hitter since the All-Star break. I mean, if you're just talking all-encompassing, average, power, all that, Cal's been doing his thing with the home runs, certainly. So it's not really been that one guy. But, Naylor, it's hard to deny his impact. Looking at where this team is, though, and Dan, it's been an interesting year for Dan, because when things are good, it's, told you service was the problem, Dan's the man. And then when things went bad, Dan doesn't know what he's doing. He's not ready for this job. There's no way he should have this job. He should be fired. I saw that hundreds of times on social media. It was not a unique opinion. It was out there for a lot of people saying, and a lot of people that are, I'm not going to say analysts, but people that baseball is their forte. I'll say that. And they're out there going, he is not good at this. So I'm curious if this is a guy that has a team winning in spite of him or because of him. And if he's a guy that you think because of, should he be in that manager of the year conversation?
Yeah, Charlie Furbush brought that up, and he asked Shannon on the post game the other day when him and Lefko were doing post game, and brought up, and I don't know that I've heard that from many people of him being AL manager of the year. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff that we don't hear, and that there's lots of things that maybe he doesn't get credit for, that the moves that he makes and putting guys in the right spot in the lineup, but. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, and I would definitely say that it isn't in spite of Dan that they're on this roll right now.
Where do you, and you guys can weigh in on that as well, 866-979-3776. What in your opinion is Dan's impact on where this team has turned things around and where they're in position to potentially end the season as the number 2 seed in the American League and winning their first division since 2001?
Yeah.
That's 24 years ago.
Oh my God.
And we're talking a quarter century almost. So it's been a drought to say the very least. What is his level of credit, if you will, would you give him, and should he be in that conversation for manager of the year? I think he didn't take over a team that was this losing team that had nothing to work with. He was given a team that had pieces, right? Had arguably the best rotation in baseball. They were a winning team last year, missed the playoffs by a game. So it's not like he went in and had to rebuild the Rockies or the White Sox, or he didn't take over this absolute train wreck of an organization or a team. So he did have a nice, soft landing, if you will, in terms of what he had to work with. But we saw he's the guy that's got to steer the ship through, the storms, if you will, when things were going really poorly on the road, and we're all sitting there going, what in the hell is going on with this team? Yeah. He's the one that had to keep people's heads in the game and play psychologist. And we can talk about batting order and how he used the bullpen, and I've had issues with some of the moves he's made without question. But that's true of any manager. I think I don't care what anybody tells me. Scott Servais was a good manager. He did things I had issues with. That's true. There's just too many decisions to be made in 162 games to expect every one of them works out. Every one of them is exactly as it should be.
Right. Well, and it's just like in football where, you go for it on 4th and 1, you make it. Nobody ever really talks about that. Yeah. But if you don't, then it gets talked about. And
then you're an idiot. What were you doing?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's a lot of those kinds of things. The 706, not sure where 706 is, but says Dan makes the players feel confident. And that's kind of a basic way of putting, I would say it's more that than anything of tinkering with the lineup or, or talking to the pitchers or whatever. To me, it's just more about knowing his players and knowing how to push buttons and also knowing, sometimes you'll see a move in the lineup and I wonder why he did that. And it's well, he's not going to divulge that to anyone, but there's reasons, right? He talks to his players. He's got his, like they say, his finger on the pulse. And I think it's more that than anything, than it is any kind of pulling a guy at this point. I mean, remember how pissed off Wu was when he got pulled, and what was it, it was going to be his 3rd quality start or something like that, or there was some benchmark.
I think it was the one that ended the streak.
Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah, and it was, that was a tough one probably for him. But, but the thing is, you never know, well, what if he'd have left him in there? Well, maybe it would have been disastrous, and then we would have been saying, what are you doing, Dan? Why'd you leave him in there? Why didn't you pull him? So it's just kind of a no-win situation for him. But I don't know. I think manager of the year is the guy that gets the best out of his players. Right now, Polanco has 13 doubles in the month of September. I mean, he's just getting so much out of these guys. And then, like I was saying, as far as a spark plug goes, if you look at Robles, I mean, it's not making every day there's something, but he he steals a base here. You know, he hits a home run there. He dives and makes plays out in the outfield. I mean, I think that kind of thing, everybody is just chiming in. And, you know, I like to think that a lot of that is because what Dan has been saying to his team.
Yeah, the other part of this, and we'll see how he manages this and the team manages it, is Brian Wu. Now, I still have yet to hear any hardcore update on what's going on there. Jeff Passan was on with Brock and Salk, and he here says what he thinks will happen with Brian Wu.
I don't know what caused this with Brian Wu, but if it is as minimal as the Mariners are hoping, I think we'll see Brian Wu out there in Game 1 of the postseason. And I think he'll be just fine. But you know what I think the closest thing to liken it to is, Brock? It's an oblique. You know, it's in the same general area, and recurrence is more frequent than you would like. But, you know, hopefully for the sake of the Mariners, this was just a one-time thing. And I know Brian Wu's been getting treatment the last few days, and there's optimism right now, but it's optimism that can vanish very quickly because of the nature of the injury.
Yeah, they're going to err on the side of caution, especially if they lock in their spot, right? I mean, not their positioning in the postseason, but just we are in. And then it remains to be seen. Once they establish that, I could see them erring on the side of caution, which I could see creating some push and pull with fans. Do you go for it? Do you say, look, all hands on deck. We want that number 2 seed. We want that bye. Or, hey, look, we're in. We're going to get some rest for Cal. We're going to get some rest for this bullpen that's running on fumes. We're going to get some rest for Brian Wu's injury. We're in. We're going to do our best to win it, obviously, to get that number 2 spot, but we're going to, you know, maybe pull back some of these guys. What should be the mode for Dan? We're all in. We're going for number 2. That means, hey, Bazardo, Munoz, everybody's available, barring injury. We're going for this. What's more crucial? Because I think that bye is huge. Yeah. I think that is huge for this team.
I think it is too. And also, I mean, being the number 2 seed, I mean, that's just making the playoffs is all we were ever talking about. But I don't know. I can't imagine if Dan is talking to this team and saying, hey, guys, what do you think about going? I mean, I don't know if this conversation is happening, but I mean, do you think anybody's going to go, no, let's just settle for the – it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. I think that rest of that round, just getting that bye is so big because I push it through these 6 games, get your rest by getting that number 2 seed in the bye. Yeah. Then you get your rest. Then the bullpen, Cal, Wu, whoever else is dealing with nagging injury, whatever's going on, I think that is incredibly valuable. So to me, it's worth it to push it through these 6 games to lock that in and say everybody's available. We're running on fumes, but we're going for it. We're going for that number 2. I think it serves them better. Hey,
I'm sorry, really quick. Do you remember at the end of Hoosiers where they're like, hey, we're going to use you as a decoy?
Yeah. And everybody looked at him and went,
and no, let's go for
it,
man.
Like, I'll make it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the players would say that to him. Yeah. You know, like, hey, you know, if
What's
there
his
is
name?
such
Jimmy Chitwood.
Chitwood,
right?
Nice call.
Jimmy Chitwood. I'll make it.
All
right. Hey, we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks 50th season celebration game on October 5th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. It's completely free. You can enter every day to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, September 29th. Let's take 2.
Well, we'll dig into this a little bit more at 3:45 as well, but a big change coming to Major League Baseball beginning next year. The ABS challenge system that we saw in spring training will be implemented in all regular season and playoff games. So 2 challenges per game, and only the pitcher, batter, or catcher can challenge a call. But it's officially here beginning next year.
Love it. It's not the fully automated. It's just the challenge system. So they'll get 2 challenges and they'll keep them going as long as they get them right, and only the pitcher, catcher, and hitter can tap the hat or tap the helmet and challenge the pitch. And we saw it at spring training. It was really quick.
It was. You didn't even know it was happening a lot of times. There was a couple of times where and a lot of times after a pitch, you'll turn away and take a sip of your drink or whatever, and it wasn't even noticeable. And then I like to think we have a little bit of an advantage there, just because best catcher in the league. You got him involved in that, and he's not going to be wrong.
Well, some big news this morning coming out of New York. Russell Wilson has been benched. Brian Daboll announced that Jackson Dart is the new Giants starting quarterback.
Yeah, I was reading that story today, and we talked about it a bit yesterday, Dave, that Russell comes off a career high 450 yards the week before, 3 touchdowns, and he looked terrible in this game. I mean, it wasn't all him. That line doesn't look good either, but he made some decisions where he's like, what are you doing, man? He looked like a rookie. Like fourth down, and you've got to put that ball in the end zone. You got to throw it to somebody. He throws it out of bounds. It's like, what are you doing? If it gets picked off, it gets picked off. This is your last breath here. So it was a weird game for him. Yeah, looks like he's obviously toward the end of his career. I don't know. Maybe the rookie's going to come in and shine and turn this thing around, but you're also putting him behind a very suspect line, and he could become a pincushion out there.
14 years in the league, I think it's time, but we'll see. I mean, this is kind of what we talked about. He made the Pro Bowl last year.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like what we were talking about with Luis Castillo. Like, is this the end of the road for him, or is this, something that's just a little bit of a glitch? So, hey, I'm not gonna pull the curtains on his career just yet.
Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Coming up, one guy on the Seahawks defense is flying under the radar. We're going to get into that next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob right here on your home for the Mariners playoff push. Seattle Sports on 710.
It's been a while since we talked magic number around here. This team does that, or whoever beats the other whoever, and yeah, it's a lot. So here's a nerd who can help.
The Mariners win 3 games, Mariners win 1, the Astros lose 2, or a combination of the Tigers, the Red Sox.
Hey, thanks, Lefko. Steamrolling toward the postseason tonight. Mariners and Rockies at T-Mobile. First pitch 6:40.
Chants of the crowd getting louder and louder.
On the home of your first place Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Oh, it's motorcycle weather out there. Rode all the way out here to the Virginia Mason Athletic Center today. A beautiful day for it. But, when you're on the bike, you assume a bit more risk. And I've heard from a lot of you on the text line, riders out there that have been involved in motorcycle crashes, some injuries you've talked about. Look, if you're somebody that's been involved in a motorcycle crash, you've been injured, and you're looking at talking to law firms, do yourself a favor. Don't settle for a firm that tells you they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it. That's Law Tigers. They've been a part of this riding community for nearly 25 years nationwide, and they are there when you need them. You get in an accident, you get injured, you're looking for help, you're looking for direction. You got to have somebody who's there available to talk you through it. They are there for you 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support when they need it most. And they are the resource that riders can turn to when they're in need. Now, you see Law Tigers out at all of the events. They support all the clubs and shops. You see the tents, the vans everywhere. The Law Tigers are always by your side. And even better, your case evaluation is completely free. There are no fees until your case settles. So they don't get paid until you get paid, and they're going to help you get your gear and your bike repaired or replaced because they know what that stuff means to you. The Law Tigers are with you at all times. You never ride alone with Law Tigers. Washington's motorcycle lawyers, Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Happy 40th birthday to us at Pacific Power Batteries. Since 1985, we've learned that our customers seem to appreciate product knowledge and helpful advice about anything battery related. At Pacific Power Batteries, we like to sponsor smaller community causes and teams because they have a real community connection, sort of like a battery to a starter. Does that make sense? I'm Steve Alman, and all of us hope to connect with you soon at one of our Pacific Power Batteries stores.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Crawl space and attics are not places you want to spend much time, but many homes in our area can have serious issues behind the hatches. Hi, it's the owner of Crawl Pros, Richard Herron. For years, you've heard us talking about how we go where you don't want to. With our free corner-to-corner inspection to keep your crawl space and attic well insulated and free of mold and water. You've also heard about the pest control division of our company to keep your home bug and critter free. I'm excited to tell you about our newest division, Plumber Pros. Plumber Pros takes the same customer-first approach to plumbing that we do with our crawl space, attic, and pest control work. We've handpicked skilled plumbers that I know you'll feel comfortable inviting into your home. So next time you run into plumbing issues, from leaky faucets and clogged drains to full home repipes and sub pump installations, call Crawl Pros and we'll get our plumbing division, Plumber Pros, out to get it resolved. For anything related to your crawl space, attic, pest control, or plumbing, call Crawl Pros or visit us at crawlpros.com.
Where you hear Cal's quest for the MVP.
Goodbye, baseball, number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafeet from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
One day when I came home at lunchtime, I heard the hell is this?
Oh, I have a guess.
What are we playing here,
I have
Matt?
no idea.
This is the Year 3000 by the Jonas Brothers. Bob, that's your favorite
See, I
band,
didn't even
right?
know this song. That's why I had to ask Matt.
Did they not play that song?
Lefko, look.
Did
you not get your fill last? Did you not get your fill last night? You have to push Matt into playing this nonsense
Oh,
here.
he seems very pushed.
No, it's a great,
He was
great
very
song.
excited. No, I will say I didn't know this one, but the whole crowd got nuts about it. So
Did you? So you recognize this from your
no,
adventures
I had to
last
ask
night?
him. I said, "What is this?" Because I Didn't know what it was.
Lefko, you weren't paying attention, clearly.
Clearly.
Last night.
Can I tell you, by the end of the concert, I was tired. I'm an old millennial who needed to go to sleep. I was there for Boys Like Girls. The Jonas Brothers happened to be there also. I don't know why everyone went there for them. I went for Boys Like Girls, but
what did they play?
On a
40 minutes?
No, they did 45, yeah. And then everyone got excited for the Jonas Brothers, so... Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're the headliners. So.
Yeah, I guess so. They did put on a good show for the 95% female crowd, so I think everyone had a good time.
Oh, well, it's good for you.
They played for 2 hours, so it was pretty impressive.
Did you do any handwritten signs or anything, Joe? Blow me a kiss. You've
seen my handwriting. You think I could pull off a handwritten sign?
Did you buy a shirt? Do you have a Jonas Bro shirt?
No, I had the tattoo, but not the shirt.
Okay.
Did you used to get the T-shirts when you went to concerts?
Heck yeah.
I always did.
Oh,
always.
I had a closet full of them. All the metal shirt. It was all Maiden and Judas Priest and Metallica. And
I had Uriah Heep. And it was like a picture of the United States with like big claws coming.
Uriah Heep. I saw them open for Def Leppard at one point.
I think that's where I saw them. And then, and it was like one of those baseball, like 3/4 sleeve shirts. Yeah. Those are awesome. Really impressed the chicks.
Yeah, they especially these days. So, Lefko, are you wearing your concert shirt today? That was always the move, is to wear it the next day to show that you went to the concert.
Honestly,
when you go to school.
I don't think I would have bought anything, but the merchandise line was insanely long. So I didn't want to stand in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing you used to do back in those days, you would put up on your bulletin board the ticket stub.
Oh yeah, used to hang on to all those. I think I still have some in my parents' attic somewhere, like a big box of ticket stubs.
Now it's all a bunch of expired things in your Apple Wallet.
You got to delete it out of your Apple Wallet. Yeah, you don't have that memento unless you buy a shirt like Lefko did of the Jonas Bros. So, all right. Well,
I hope you enjoyed your time off, Mike.
Thank you. I'm looking for the actual Jonas Brothers song, but I can't find it in time. So
yeah.
What do you mean? That wasn't it?
No, the known one. Like if there's one song you're gonna know, it's called "Burnin' Up," but I can't. YouTube ads gonna take too long. So
all right. I look forward to it when you find it. That'll be great. Meanwhile, the Seahawks defensive line has been very. We've talked about the defense as a whole. 17 points allowed in each of the first 2 games, 13 points allowed in the most recent game. Right. Under 300 yards. You've always talked about that, Dave, as a guy who played defense in this league for almost a decade, that you hold a team to 300 yards, that's kind of like your marker, right? Yeah. They under 300 in this game.
Wow.
So, and the 3 interior guys with Leonard Williams, Reed, Murphy, they've been amongst the most disruptive in the NFL. And Daniel Jeremiah it was talking with Brock and Salk and explains what he's seen specifically from Byron Murphy this year.
When I go back and watch Byron, they're, using him on some games, especially later in the game. They did more of that. And, he's really, really effective on that stuff. The point of attack run game was outstanding. I say it every time, but it still catches me off guard when you see him go to the knee, because it's just such a unique way that he's been taught to play that. But he does it really well. You can't get underneath him. You can't move him. He can win on the edges.
Yeah, it's great to see him coming to life, because he's the guy you and I talked a lot about. And I don't know if I was skeptical. I was just like, his first year, I just didn't hear his name called. He didn't pop on the screen, to throw out a cliche. He didn't really seem to have much of a presence. Didn't mean he was bad, but he just didn't make himself visible to me as a more of a, interior guy who's not going to come off the edge and be that sack master. I was waiting to hear, whoa, look at what he did here with this double team, and look at what he did there. Just didn't hear much. And this year it's been kind of the opposite. And you talked about the second year being that year where you take that step and everything's much more comfortable. And that seems to be true so far with him, that he just looks like, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was the 16th pick overall. And so, you expect production basically out of those guys. And
what do you have last year? Was it a half sack?
Yeah, and that's what he tripled that total in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So, because he had a sack and a half. So, yeah, I mean, he is just he's coming into his own. So right now he's got 2.5 sacks. And the other thing is, and like you said, it wasn't because you didn't see him. I just think that splitting a double team is like one of the most like heroic things you can do on the field. It's almost like an interception, and if you do it right, they can't block you. And right now, they have three guys that. I mean, look, I know that it's worked a couple of times, the double team, but I see those guys holding their ground. But if you have those three guys out there, Jaron Reed, Byron Murphy, and Big Cat, I mean, there's just not enough guys to block them. Yeah. And, playing linebacker behind that, look, I played against, behind some really, really good players.
Well, Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, Cortez especially. But I'll tell you what, in Denver, there's a guy named Greg Cragen. He was phenomenal. And he used to hold guards for me and stuff like that. But he was really good, and it really helps the linebackers. And so, we talk about EJ and Tyrese Knight getting all these big hits and making plays, but if those guys better make sure that those D linemen never pay for a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those guys are, they're keeping the linebackers clean as well. So
has he done something different, Murphy, this year that you noticed, like just in technique? He's quicker off the ball. Is there anything that just looks mechanically different than last year?
So Daniel Jeremiah in that clip there, he's talking about how he drops to a knee or something, and I have not seen him do that, but like he gets so low to the ground. I think you look at, and I broke down Jaron Reed and Big Cat, and those guys both, you can see their hip level. What's that?
Where'd you do that?
Oh, on Seattle Sports. It's the Football 101 thing.
Seattlesports.com.
It should be up. Our guy Trevor Bond.
Check it out. Football 101, Seattlesports.com, right there.
Yeah. So we talked about feats of strength and these guys, just how strong they are, and this Kelvin Banks kid's a first-round draft choice, the tackle for the Saints, and Jaron Reed just bench pressed him right into the ball carrier and knocked him down. So I mean, you're seeing that kind of stuff, but all three of those guys can do that. But yeah, what I was going to say was just pad level and where their hips are. We talked about, I found a way, Bob, in the Football 101 video to work Cal Raleigh in there.
Of course you did. Jeez.
Well, we were talking about power source. He said, guy, and I was like, here's some examples of people with a really good power source. Cal Raleigh, 58 home runs, man.
Dave is the human shoehorn.
Yeah, I did that just for you, Bob.
Oh, now I got to go watch it. Football 101, Seattlesports.com. See how Dave was able to talk football and somehow, some way, insert Cal Raleigh into the conversation.
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
Power source right there, and that's what Byron Murphy has, man.
All right. Coming up, he helped set the tone with a blocked punt on Sunday. Seahawks safety DeAnthony Bell is going to join us to talk all about that and more as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob right here on your home for the first place Seattle Mariners, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passett with Brock and Salk.
How complete is this Mariner team right now?
We have a story coming out on ESPN.com. I think it's tomorrow. First question, what's the boldest prediction you've heard from an MLB executive or scout? Passett, the Seattle Mariners are going to win the World Series. If you just objectively look at what the Mariners are doing right now, they've had the best offense in Major League Baseball in the month of September.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife, and September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And on average, 1 in 8 men in the U.S. will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lifetime. And many treatments are available, especially locally, but I recently spoke with someone who underwent treatment for prostate cancer in February. Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host. And Tim underwent Swedish Cyberknife treatment the week right after the Super Bowl, and it was literally a week. All it took was 5 days in a row, with each session lasting less than an hour. He said about 35, 40 minutes. And he chose Swedish Cyberknife because it was only 5 days of treatment versus several months with other treatments. On top of that, Swedish Cyberknife had by far the least interruption to his daily life. No surgery, no catheter, and the recovery was incredibly quick. And Tim heard about Cyberknife treatment from our radio commercials right here on this show, just like you're hearing right now. So if you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. And remember, you don't need a physician's referral. Again, that's swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Maura Dooley here. It's time to recognize a woman in our sports community with the 2025 Women of Inspiration Award. The nominations are in, and the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events, needs your help selecting a winner. Voting is open now until September 26th at woiseattle.org. The winner will receive a generous cash donation from WISE and their partners for the cause of their choice. Help honor a local woman today. Vote by September 26th at woiseattle.org.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app. It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
Mariners fans, it's time to bring the noise to T-Mobile Park. This lineup is loaded up and locked in. From every moonshot.
Now Raleigh obliterates this. How far? Way back there.
To every how in the world did he catch that moment?
And Julio makes the catch. No fly zone in full effect.
Be here as the squad shuts the door and lights the W.
Munoz looking for the final out. Here's the stretch, and the strike three called, and the ball game is over.
This is our house.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Be here this week as the Mariners fight for their spot in the postseason. The action gets started with 3 straight value games against the Rockies tonight through Thursday. Then don't miss a star-studded showdown against Ohtani and the defending World Series champion Dodgers Friday to Sunday. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. We're awaiting the arrival of Seahawks safety DeAnthony Bell as they wrap things up for the day. They'll walk him back here at some point soon, and hopefully sit down and have a conversation. Practice is still wrapping up, so we'll see what the timing is like. We're always at the mercy of practice.
Yeah.
Don't they know we have a show to do? Don't they know we are on a clock and we've got to get things done at a specific time here?
Got to get their priorities straight, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to talk to him. Yeah, it's just pretty remarkable, and I don't know if we talked about this enough because on the huddle, Stacy asked me, what was the biggest part of that game, and I was like, special teams, man. And DeAnthony Bell obviously blocks the punt there, but
huge.
But really, more than anything, I think it's just the fact that DeAnthony Bell and Ty Okada, those guys are shining.
I mean, Darion Kendrick.
I mean, that's another one. I was blanking on his name, but Josh Jobe is another one that, and he's more established as a starter.
Yeah, he's the guy now, right?
But I mean, he's also a guy that they plugged in halfway through last year, and it just worked for him. So, yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing from this defense. But yeah, it's pretty cool for DeAnthony to come in there and. First chance really getting to play a lot and gets the block kick.
Hey, as we wait for him, I was curious about this, and I threw some of it in the email last night about the running game.
Yeah.
Did we get kind of lured in by the success they had in the preseason? That this line looks good, and this running game's going to be, they're going to lean on it. And we talked about, maybe if it takes Darnold some time to get rhythm with the new receivers, that they can lean on this running game because it looks like everything's in place. And despite how dominant this win was, if we're going to talk about something that didn't go well, they didn't run the ball well. They had 33 carries, under 87 yards. That was not a great day running the ball, even though Ken Walker did have the 2 touchdowns, short yardage touchdowns. But what's your feeling about this run game, this O-line in terms of run blocking is to this point?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see it obviously be more like what we saw in the preseason. And I think they'll get there. I just think it's going to take them a while. But in the meantime, they've been operating their offense. It's not like, that they're not. I mean, in that very first game, they didn't get to a lot of plays that they wanted to get to. But some of the stuff that they're trying to do offensively, and that's get guys wide open and get the team flowing or the defense flowing one way, and then come back the other with bootleg and that kind of thing. It's been successful. So it's like it's a good point. I mean, you bring it up. They're not killing it running the ball. But I feel like that's coming. Because, you get a guy like Anthony Bradford, for example. I mean, he's not the best pass blocker. But, when you get him on a track and just say, hey, look, I need you to just blow this guy off the ball, he can do it. Mm-hmm. He can do it. So it's just a matter of, getting him focused. But, and I think Gray Zabel is playing really well. I'd say Sundell is holding his own, but, it's not like he's blowing people off the ball either. So, and that's one thing we haven't really seen. We haven't seen like a big explosive run game. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's coming, but it's kind of interesting to bring that up because a lot of, getting that 44 points was special teams.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it feels like it was a complete game. The defense played great. Special teams played great.
Yeah.
Passing game looked good. Darnold was sharp, really efficient, 14 of 18. Yep. No picks, a couple of touchdowns. So everything felt like it was complete. But then you go, all right, yeah, the running attack, that really didn't happen. And Mike McDonald talking here about how they need to improve the running game right now.
Yeah, it's not good enough. It's not even close to being good enough. It's not what we saw throughout camp. It's not what we saw in the preseason. Teams are got to give the other teams credit too. They're designing some good things and playing hard and tackling well, but we got to be better. We need to be better. We need to target it right. We need to hit our targets. We got to run off the ball better. Got to hit our combinations better. We got to run it better. So it's really all 11 that we just step up our game. So nothing that's not fixable, which is great. Again, like I said, we're coming out of the win, and it's great that we won in that fashion. But when you watch it, no one on our football team is going to be satisfied on really in all 3 phases of the things that we fell short on, and we understand where we need to improve.
There we go. And I wonder if they will have that big breakout game where it looks more like what we saw against Kansas City in the preseason.
Kind of felt like it last week, right? When K9 going over 100 yards on just 13 carries, it felt like, okay, talk about efficiency, man. I mean, it's 13 total carries and coming up with that kind of damage. So, yeah, it's what do you want to do here, Lefko? We're D'Anthony's just walking into the room, and we're coming up on the break. Do we want to go long or break quickly? What do you think?
Let's spend a few minutes with him here.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
5 minutes or so.
Get the headsets on him here, and welcome D'Anthony Bell to the show. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
We're doing great. Appreciate you coming by, and congrats on the win. Congrats on your game out there.
Thank you so much.
Block punt. Is that is that something you sort of daydream about going into this game? Like, man, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make an impact, and here it is.
Yeah, you definitely do. And I think throughout the week when I had saw the formation and Jay told me about how they run this certain formation, I'm like, hey. He's like, you got an opportunity. I'm like, I was trying to take advantage when I seen it. So I happened to see it. I'm like, hopefully they don't change up and block out on me this one time. So they played it true, and then I was able to get the block.
I remember having a chance to block a punt when I was like a freshman in high school. and I remember just like diving and totally missing it.
Right.
But like, do you guys work on that? We used to work on that with Rusty Tillman, who was the special team coach here back in the 80s and 90s. And, it's kind of like just taking the ball right off the guy's foot. So what do you, like, what's your focal point when you're, well, first of all, how about this? Were you thinking, oh my God, nobody's blocking me.
Right.
Like, what was that like? And then, just tell us, like, what's your technique there?
Yeah, I was definitely thinking, like, when I came off, I'm like, dang, nobody even touched me. So my first thing I'm thinking, like, just make sure you take it off the foot and don't close your eyes. A lot of people get to that attack point and close your eyes and miss the ball. So I was thinking, hey, don't close your eyes. Make sure you hit the ball. But throughout the week, they just tell us the distance between the punter and the snapper, so you get your block point area. And then, of course, we work taking the ball off the foot, like you said, and we have been working it all week in the same formation. So I had blocked it in practice multiple times that week, so it happened to be the same during the game.
Well, another thing is it's just a punter, right? I mean, it's not like it's some big badass linebacker.
Right.
But it's like kicking his leg at you.
Right.
So, I mean, that's also kind of like you're like, I don't know if I want to go in there. But that was – but, yeah, it was perfect the way you took it off the foot. Do you guys practice that specifically?
Yes, we do. We work on rushes every week. So after the practice every week, we work on rushes and work on taking the ball off the foot of the punter. So, and my main thing was make sure I hit the ball because I can hit the punter as long as I touch the ball. So I really wasn't thinking about running into the punter because I was so free. And I'm like, all I got to do is touch the ball.
Do you ever catch one in the chest or in the gut or anything?
That one actually hit me right in the chest.
Oh,
on the
did
shoulder
it?
pad. So
okay.
My hands was like really went right past it and it hit right in the chest of my shoulder pad.
You feel that? Like
I actually didn't feel it. At the impact of time, you really don't feel it. But I was just grateful that I got it.
Yeah.
Instead of missing it.
What is that like for you out there when things are just going so well? I mean, it turned into a butt kicking. I mean, that was a one-sided affair out there. The building's going nuts. It's just crazy loud. What's that like as a player out there to hear that and just, hey, everything we're doing is working?
Yeah, it's amazing. Having a team and you clicking on all three phases, it just shows how much work that we put in the offseason and how much we believe in each other. So we always just talk about being relentless and, trying to come out there and play relentless. So we did that as a team, and it was a great feeling.
Well, I want to talk about your college career because I'm wondering what's your favorite mascot. The Albany State Golden Rams, the Iowa Central Tritons, am I right?
Yep.
Butler Grizzlies, and then West Florida Argonauts.
Probably West Florida. That was the last school I was at. Probably the Argonauts, and it was a great place to be.
Yeah, and didn't you guys win like a playoff?
Yeah, we won a national championship there as well. So 1-2 there, and it was great being there. You're 15 minutes from the beach of Pensacola, one of the prettiest beaches in Florida. So it was a nice place to be.
Why'd you play in so many schools?
Well, I ended up sitting out a semester because I did construction with my dad. Couldn't afford to pay for school. So when I left Iowa Central, I just went home and started working, trying to make money. Ended up getting a scholarship from the University of Butler. And then from there, I ended up going to D2 because of the time clock at the time. Couldn't go D1. Okay. Had a few D1 offers, but, the time clock back then, I couldn't go D1. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I read that, and I forgot to ask you that, but you took a year off to do construction.
I did.
I love these kind of stories, man, and you just the trajectory of your career is just taken off. But what was that? What did that teach you as far as taking a year off, and I know you probably really missed football, right?
Yeah, definitely. And then it taught me how hard my parents was working at the time. Doing construction is not an easy thing, especially in the state of Georgia. Down south it's 95, 90 degrees, so. You out in the sun, you coming back way darker than you were before. So having that, and then I'm like, man, this is not the life I want. I want to play football for a living. So my dad was like, this is your chance to go back and do it again. And, I was grateful that I got a chance from Butler Community College. Shout out Coach Abbott. They gave me a scholarship there, and I'm blessed.
It must be cool to be where you're at now, because I did construction coming out of high school. That is bust-ass work, man. That's no
work.
joke. I mean, whether you're out there packing panels or shingle, whatever, I don't know what you're doing, carrying around sheetrock or what. I mean, it's
sheetrock, heavy, concrete, doing all that stuff. It's
not fun.
Definitely not.
It's not fun. So it probably makes you appreciate where you're at right now, right? To a different. I mean, some people come in and feel maybe entitled, and this is where I should be. Where you have a completely different perspective.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. And then I definitely, my dad still does it, so I understand and show him gratitude to the hard work that he does. Still being a hardworking man and still doing that tough of a job at his age. Being an older man. So I'm just grateful for them. I'm grateful for my parents.
Man, you're a grinder. I love it, man. And it just seems like everybody that they plug in, it just works. What is it about this defense? As far as it just seems like Josh Jobe and you had Ty Okada in there and
Darion Kendrick.
Yeah, I mean it just works. I'm not saying no matter who you plug in there, but it's cool the way guys have all come together and kind of been able to run this defense.
Yeah, I think it's more the identity of the team. Once I came in, guys showed me the identity and told me that there's no drop off no matter who's in the game. So we all just hold each other to that same standard of the DB room, as in you got to prepare yourself as you're a starter. So just being prepared when your name is called. You never know what can happen in this league. It's a lot of games, a lot of football games, so a lot of things can happen. So being prepared when your chance is there and just taking advantage of the opportunity. We're doing whatever to make the team win, play your role and just do whatever you can.
Do you get a sense of the expectation of this defense from the outside? We talked a lot about last year, the second half of the season. This was what top 5 defense in the second half.
Right.
So the expectation was, okay, they'll be that at the beginning of this season.
Right.
They're going to take that and run with it, and that's who they are out of the gate. And so far, that's what this defense has looked like. But do you guys get a sense that that's what everybody expects from you, is to be a top 5 defense?
I don't even think too much we get it from the outside. I think we get it from Mike himself. Mike holds us to that standard of, you're gonna attack the ball. We're gonna play hard. We're gonna play physical, and we're trying to dominate everybody we can play. So not even so much the outside, but Mike himself is enforcing that standard of, hey, this is how my defense is ran, and this is how we play ball, and this is our identity. So,
well, DeAnthony, you also played in Cleveland. So, what's different about here as compared to where other programs, and just how is it special in this building? Because it seems like it.
Yeah, I think it's special. I think it's special how all the guys get along and how everybody clicks, and it's very special how we take other players in. So like Darian coming in a little bit later, and he came in and clicked with us just like he's one of the guys. So the way that they take in players, the way that coaches take in players, and spend extra time. I spent extra time with special team coach Jay. Spend time with the other safety coaches, the K. Scott, and just the way that they spend times on the players. It's amazing and it's special.
Well, congrats on the win, man, and the block punt and doing it in front of the home crowd is got to be one of the coolest things ever. So, quick turnaround too. So we wish you nothing but the best against the Arizona Cardinals, and hope to talk to you again, man.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you guys.
There you go. There's DeAnthony Bell of your Seattle Seahawks. Huge game for him against the Saints, and hopefully you get a chance to see more of that against the Arizona Cardinals Thursday Night Football. Meanwhile, we'll get back into those questions about the run game and dive into this matchup with the Cardinals. All of that coming up next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob, right here on your home for the Mariners playoff push. Seattle Sports on 710.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. It's been a while since we talked magic number around here. You know, this team does that, or whoever beats the other whoever, and yeah, it's a lot. So here's a nerd who can help.
The Mariners win 3 games, Mariners win 1, the Astros lose 2, or a combination of the Tigers, the Red Sox.
Hey, thanks, Lefko. Steamrolling toward the postseason tonight. Mariners and Rockies at T-Mobile. First pitch 6:40.
Chants of the crowd getting louder and louder.
On the home of your first place Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
You know, honesty and integrity is what sets our sponsor, Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, apart from others. I've been working with Dr. Wagner for a couple of years now, and he was really straight with me, Bob. Like, my knee needed total replacement, and he's like, I can't really help you. And not a lot of doctors will give it to you straight like that. But after you hearing me talk about it all the time, Dr. Wagner, you decided to go see him for yourself. What was your experience like?
Same thing. I went in with a hip issue that had developed over a number of years of jiu-jitsu and all that wear and tear on my hip. And he was very honest because I gave him the MRI, and he said, look, you got a torn labrum, you got a frayed tendon, you got a bursa sac, you got some arthritis, all of these things. He's like, it's not going to cure everything, but it's going to go a really long way in helping you. And I was looking at surgery, so I said, let's do this 90-minute procedure in and out of there. And it was gradually getting better and better and better over time. And now I'm to the point where I can do all those things I couldn't do, and surgery is not even in my mind at this point.
Yeah, well, and he gives it to you straight, just like he did with me. And I've never seen a doctor turn away business, before. So, yeah, you can trust Mark Wagner, no question. So whether it's a shoulder, hip, like Bob had, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car. What about when you want to sell your car, though? Of course, you want to get the most money possible, but how can you get the most you can without trying to sell it yourself? Stacey Rost here, and that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. They've already given back over $800,000 to their customers. You can go to the website to see pictures of giant checks for yourself. It's such a great offer, and I know exactly what you're wondering right now. How are they able to do it? It's not a consignment because you get paid for your car right away. Wayscar Ford pays you right up front. They buy your car for fair market value. No more insurance, no more maintenance, no more storage, no more headaches. Then they pay you half the profit when they resell your car. It's just that simple. Get the most money possible for your old car at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn and let them do the work. WayscarFord.com. That's WayscarFord.com.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
All right, as the weather starts to cool down, we head inside with those chillier temperatures, a little less daylight. We have more time to spend watching football, maybe keeping a close eye on the playoff chase. However, that also means we're a little closer to the chips, the snacks. They're waiting patiently in the pantry. Little less time outside. That can mean a little less time being active as well. Well, don't let the number on the scale increase this fall. Instead, watch it go down as you have the ability to lose almost a pound a day with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. I honestly didn't believe it until I tried it, but then I lost 24 pounds in a month, 35 pounds after just 8 weeks, and it wasn't that hard. No injections, no surgery, no prepackaged meals, no counting calories. You don't even need to exercise. Yeah, this Eastside Weight Loss Clinic plan really does work because it's about eating healthy, delicious food that you buy at the grocery store with not a ton of sacrifice or real difficulty. Book a time today. Go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com for a 15-minute consult. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Well, the Mariners get back to it tonight. They welcome the Colorado Rockies to town with their 43-113 record. The Mariners with just 6 games left in the regular season. They can lock up a playoff spot tonight with a win and a Yankees win over the White Sox. So we'll keep an eye on that Yankees game. Also, your pitching matchup looks like this. Bryce Miller taking the hill for the M's. He faces off against McCade Brown, who comes in with an 0-4 record and a 9.17 ERA. Well, you can get it all starting at 5:30 with a pregame show. 6:40 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Other games we'll be keeping an eye on. Rangers host the Twins coming up in Texas. You've also got the Red Sox on the road taking on the Blue Jays in Toronto, Yankees and White Sox in New York. And it's the Tigers and Guardians in a huge series for both teams in Cleveland. Game 1 of that series coming up. One note from the NFL, it looks like the Giants will be moving on from Russell Wilson. They are going to bench him in favor of first-round rookie Jackson Dart. After just 3 games, Dart will start at home Sunday against the undefeated LA Chargers.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletics Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. You guys can text in throughout the show at 866-979-3776. Our thanks to DeAnthony Bell, who joined us in the previous segment. In case you guys just tuned in and missed that, really interesting, good conversation with him. Nice guy. Got a few texts saying, what a nice young man. This person said, what a nice young man. Yes, I'm old, so young man is accurate for me, said the 206.
Well, I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the perspective. Sounds like you worked some construction.
Yeah, I hated every moment of it. That's not easy work at all.
Yeah.
Man. There's just no part of it. I helped somebody who was a roofer for a while, hated that. I was packing shingles up there. I had a buddy who did foundations, packing panels for that.
Yeah.
Brutal sheetrock work. None of it's easy.
No.
Unless you're like a foreman and you're just telling people, do this, go here, go there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where you want to be. You aspire to be that. Yeah, I used to work at my dad's sawmill in the summer, and we had to get up at we had to be there at 7.
Yeah.
And it was an hour away, and when you're a teenager, you just
oh yeah, that's a nightmare.
All you want to do is sleep. And we one of the jobs we did was called pulling green chain, which at the end of the saws cut the log, and it was a log home company that he supplied the logs for. So they cut 2 sides, and then the product comes off onto a big chain, and then you've got to lift it with somebody else on the other side. It's the worst job in the world.
Yeah,
Hated it.
Hard
By the
work,
end,
man.
like going into my senior year, I got to drive the forklift.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I like that
part.
part.
You like that. Forklift is doing all the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So respect to him. Respect to people who do those jobs, man. They are
totally.
not easy.
Yep.
By the way, one text that came in from the 360. I just Spotified Boys Like Girls. Wow. Is Lefko a 13-year-old girl?
Well, so now it would be a millennial girl, so be like in our mid-30s. But hold on. I got to ask this person, what song? Because they have good ones, and then they have ones that sound more... No, okay, you didn't do Boys Like Girls. You did Jonas Brothers. There's no way any song from Boys Like Girls is something that a 13-year-old girl would like.
What would you
find one for
compare
this
them
person.
to? I've never heard them. So who would you like?
Any pop-punk band.
Pop-punk.
Yeah, here, hold on. Let me bring up their greatest song ever.
They're great. Boy, he's putting a lot of pressure on this one. Greatest
Matt is
song
thrilled
ever.
by this. Here we go.
Lefko continuing to surprise me.
Well, hold on. There's a commercial from YouTube, but
Yeah.
this is the one that came out 20 years ago, 2006.
They've been around that long?
Yeah, it's all this era. Boys Like Girls, Jonas Brothers, Goo Goo Dolls, all of them.
Well, I've heard of the Goo Goo Dolls,
Okay.
obviously.
Here we go. Let's just play the first 2 minutes. Fair use in case anyone's listening. Don't sue us.
Nope, I'm not.
No, plastic bags.
I can stop on that. Not bad.
Paper bag, plastic.
How about now?
Sounds like
here it comes. Here it comes. We'll stop it.
Yeah, it fits in that.
Yeah.
I don't know who else is in that era. Blink 182.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Sum
90s,
41.
early 2000 trailer for like a movie.
Yeah, like some you'd hear in American Pie.
Yeah.
Actually, so Sum 41 was the Jonas Brothers surprise guest last night.
Oh, really?
I felt very, very old, but yes, I thought I was watching American Pie again.
All right, there you go. So that's what you experienced. Were you one amongst the older attendees?
No, right in the sweet spot. I mean,
Okay.
everyone kind of around the same age.
All right, reliving their youth.
Yes.
Going, I remember this song.
Realizing
I remember this
we
song.
can't stay up late anymore.
That's right.
Well, I remember going to Rush.
And
several
it was
years
all
ago.
men and like one woman there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's how it was. That was my first concert ever in Reno, Nevada. Going to see Rush. And you're right, it was like 95% dudes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I went, one of the last years that they toured, and Geddy Lee was fine. I mean, he just couldn't hit the high notes anymore,
Yeah.
But
That's probably better.
Yeah, probably.
I always had a hard time with his voice and those lyrics, man.
The lyrics were always interesting.
Neil wrote some hokey lyrics. Some people love it. I get it. I'm not talking you out of it, but it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Great
You're
musicians.
talking about Neil Peart.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drummer, because he wrote all.
He
of
wrote
the
all their
songs.
lyrics.
Yeah.
Neil. It's Peart. by the
Peart,
way.
sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, he wrote all the lyrics, and Geddy's voice was just an acquired taste that I never acquired. So, meanwhile, we were talking about this before D'Anthony Bell joined us. We were talking about the run game, and it's struggled out of the gates a bit. I mean, last week it was good. So there was reason to feel like, okay, they found it. It's early in the season. K9 comes out over 100 yards on just 13 carries. And you're like, wow, okay, here we go. This week, Charbonnet's not available. He's hurt. K9 just gets stuffed. I mean, the whole running game, there was really no 33 carries. 33 for 87 total yards in this game. So they did not run the ball well. That's the one negative you could point to in a very lopsided win for them. And Sam Darnold, talking today to the media, just talked about how they need to figure out how to get better in that run game.
It's huge to be able to run the football in this system. We want to continue to be better, and we will be. We're going to continue to, and that's on me as well, being able to make the right checks and get us in the right play. But we're going to continue to get better and learn from, what we've been doing in the run game.
How much do you put on the line versus the back? Because to me, to somebody that didn't play, I'm watching it, and it looked like K9 gets the ball, and here are the defenders in the backfield.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel like there was much room for him at all.
Well, I trust K9, that he's gonna be able to find an open gap. So yeah, I mean, I think But you know what? He brings up something that's very interesting. He said that's on me too, like checking into certain opportunities because, when he fully gets the grasp of this offense, which again, let's go back. This is a teardown offensively. We talked about it. New quarterback, new receivers, O-line coach, the whole thing. Offensive coordinator.
A couple of new linemen.
Yep. Yeah, you got a rookie. Actually, a couple, Sundell's not really a rookie. I mean, he's effectively, he got activated a couple of times last year, but I don't think he played much. So, yeah. And, they've got some of it falls on Sam of getting them into the right check there. Because they'll call a pass and then come up if he sees something that at the line of scrimmage, he's going to check to a run. So, I mean, that's some of it on him as well. The only thing that what kind of disturbs me every once in a while, and maybe this is just because they haven't played together long enough, is when they're not moving people. When you don't see any movement at the line of scrimmage, that's when it bothers me. But, if they can, because they have the guys to do that. So, yeah, I mean, I think that might be more about just not being comfortable with this offense just yet because, you can't think, man. You have to be out there and just, rely on instincts. And I don't know if they have enough experience running this offense just yet to be that way. And that's kind of what I see. It's like they're thinking, they're not blocking.
Do you feel like the O-line is better, though, than it was last year?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, and also I think it's an offense that, they don't put offensive linemen in bad situations. I mean, not every time, but it's not just a drop back pocket pass where the O-line has to keep the pocket clean. It's, they're moving the ball. There's rollout. There's, all kinds of stuff. The moving pocket we've talked about. So that helps the offensive line. And I think that's where you see the big difference. A lot of the plays that were called last year, other than the game down in Arizona where they had the post and pull type of stuff with the guards pulling and everything, that looked like perfectly orchestrated. But the rest of it was just frustrating to watch.
Yeah,
because I think they put a lot of those guys in bad situations. And like Laken Tomlinson's a great example of that. And I don't know, maybe he's done, maybe that's it for him. But yeah, he was a much better player coming in than he was last year.
Do you I mean, is it reasonable to expect it to be dramatically different in a short week like this? I mean, you've had very little time to work, to get ready for the Cardinals. Obviously you're installing a new game plan and here's how we're going to attack them. But in terms of the fundamentals of what wasn't working on the O-line in the run game, how much can they really affect change in this quick turnaround?
Well, here's how I think it's going to go. I think it's going to click at some point because these are everybody runs this stuff, but it's more about the rhythm and the play calling. And it's almost like, like the play calling is more art than anything else. And so I think it's going to be one of those things that clicks. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to click and they're going to run for 200 yards every game, but that's kind of what I'm waiting for, is something to click. Because on some of those runs that K9 has had, it's like just beautifully orchestrated. I mean, it's like they line up in a heavy, the one where Oots goes up and knocks out the two linebackers. That was run to the weak side. They had heavy tight end on one side. They run the ISO on the backside. And they weren't ready for it. And so that's, and a lot of that has to do with Sam getting them into the right calls, if he sees something in the defense. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not putting the whole thing on Sam, but he's right. He said it himself. He needs to be better in the run game as far as checking to plays where there's opportunities.
Yeah, I was outside of the O-line, and maybe this will be part of your answer, but I was thinking about, to this point, I mean, we're 3 games in, so you still have 14 games to go, the bulk of the season, so we don't really have a sense of who these teams are yet and what the Seahawks are going to be. But to this point, is there somebody that hasn't really shined yet, somebody that hasn't had much or any impact to this point that you look at and go, watch by the end of the season, this guy will have had an impact. This will be a guy that we talk about or taken notice of.
Yeah, I mean, I think A.J. Barner. I think A.J. Barner is going to be that guy. He's going to be one of those Kittle and Kelsey type of tight ends.
See, I thought you were going to go with Arroyo. I thought you'd go tight end, but I thought you'd go with Arroyo because we had talked so much about him in the preseason.
What's funny is
it's been kind of quiet.
I thought about that when you asked me that question because I have to go back and look, but I wrote in my notes during the game, like, that was a good block by Arroyo. And he did it a couple of times. And you see that he's starting to get better that way. So He had one of those butt blocks we talk about where it's not about, destroying the guy and pushing him down the field. It's like getting in his way.
Like a screen.
Yeah, kind of screen him off a little bit. I saw one of those from him. I mean, I see, and particularly the Pittsburgh game, he took a huge jump as far as his pass blocking goes. But in order to be, the tight end that they need, he's going to have to do both. But he's so fast, they don't even care right now.
Mm-hmm.
he runs the 4.40 or whatever, and I don't think he's fully using that speed right now because he's probably still trying to think too much. But yeah, I think the tight end position is really important.
Yeah. What about on anybody on defense? You think? I was thinking edge rusher, somebody who's really going to pop, whether it's Uchenna or it's Boye.
Boye. Yeah, I saw a couple of pass rushes from Boye in the Pittsburgh game, and I'm like, oh, man, this guy is good. I forgot how good he can be once he gets into his, repertoire, where he needs to get, a bull rush, and then, and he hasn't been able to get into a flow.
Yeah.
So, but, you go from a bull rush to a swim move to a rip move, and, he's really good at that, and I hadn't really seen that until that Pittsburgh game.
Hey, we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks' 50th season celebration game on October 5th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. Now, if you don't already have the app, no worries there. Just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. It's completely free. You can enter every single day to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, September 29th. Meanwhile, big shakeups happening around the NFL. We're going to get into all of that coming up as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob right here on your home for the first place, Seattle Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710.
The legendary Al Michaels, exclusively with Brock and Salk.
Having him on now for a second time, truly amazing.
1995 in the Kingdom, the Yankees were in town. An 18-year-old kid had just been called up, and I interviewed him before the game, and his name was Alex Rodriguez. The memory that, of course, stands out for me in the Kingdom was doing the Bo Jackson run in 1987 when he ran up the tunnel and stopped in Tacoma.
Get the full conversation on the Seattle Sports app.
It's Dave Wyman for Harley Exteriors, and since I stopped playing football, me and my family, we've been very fortunate to live in the same house for over 20 years, and that type of longevity is obviously a good thing, except 20 years plus in the same house means a lot of things start to break, and most recently, it's been our windows. Virtually every seal has broken, and that's why I reached out to Harley Exteriors. They're local, they're huge fans of our teams, and big listeners at the station, and better yet, they have the best product. Olympic Series windows offered exclusively through Harley Exteriors are manufactured right here in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. And that means cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. And because we celebrate the start of football season around here, I talked with the guys at Harley Exteriors, and they're offering no interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, if you buy one window, you get the second one 40% off. And they also will take another $200 off your entire project. So you definitely want to take advantage of that in the month of September. And so to get a hold of them, call 833-HARLEY. That's 8333-HARLEY. Or go to harleyexteriors.com.
From the roof to the deck, the siding to the gutters, and energy-efficient windows, State Roofing and Exteriors is your one-stop shop for home protection. With over 55 years serving Western Washington, we don't just work here, we live here. We know what your home is up against when the cold sets in and the rain starts falling. Right now, we're making it easier than ever to get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
The push to the playoffs lives.
The catch made by Julio. He throws to second base. The double play.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance, clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. It's Wyman and Bob. Talking Seahawks, talking Mariners. You guys can check in on the text line on whatever you want, whatever's on your mind. Meanwhile, it's interesting to see what's going on in New York. We talked about this briefly, that it looks like that's going to be it for Russell Wilson. They're going to bench him in favor of the rookie Jackson Dart, and we'll see. You talked about you're not ready to close the door on Russell's career. It's been 14 years in the league. He's had a tremendous career. I don't know if he's washed or not. I mean, he still can do it. We saw him do it the week before, right?
Yeah.
450 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's a guy who can get it done.
Right.
But this game was just such a step in the wrong direction. He just looked bad. Just decision making was terrible. So I don't know what leads to that. Again, just not watching every moment of the Giants, watching that game. I'm not making excuses for him. He made some horrible decisions, but the line does not look good at all. So I'll be curious to see how much more. I guess Dart is decidedly more mobile, so maybe they're going to, switch up how they use him, roll him out more or something along those lines. But I'm not sure how much success he'll have.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with, what kind of offense are they running, Does it suit him? Yeah, I mean, he's only 36 years old. That's not that old for a quarterback. The other thing is he was a Pro Bowler last year in Pittsburgh. And, he took the team to 6-5, 64%, 16 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. He's had a really, if you go back and look at his career, it's mostly single-digit interceptions for Russ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's one year it was 10. That was his rookie year.
The year he threw for the most yards was the year that he had the most interceptions.
Yeah,
right?
11.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right. 13. He had 13 interceptions that was 2020. And that's when he threw for 42-12 or something like that. Technically 42-19 in 2016. But, yeah, I mean, I think he's still able to get it done. And like you said, the recent performance. But, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't – it's kind of interesting at that age. It was like we were talking about with Luis Castillo. It was like, okay, is this the end or is it just like a blip? Because he's had some games like this over his career. Remember in Buffalo, I think that was the 2020 year where he threw like 3 interceptions in a row. I think he had 4 interceptions in 3 games or something. And Pete kind of freaked out over that. And
yeah.
And I think Russ and him kind of were butting heads at that point. But we'll see. And I think the Giants are not a great team, and they're going to probably go, okay, we need to get our guy going.
Yeah,
this is going to be the quarterback of the future.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. It'll be be great if he went out there and was a brilliant story of success, and we'll see. I sent the story to Lefko, and I can't. It won't open for me, Lefko. It just brings me to a homepage. But it's Jackson Dart. Apparently, Eli Manning sort of took him under his wing to the point to say, "Hey, you ever have any questions, need help? Give me a call. Like I'm there for you." Yeah. And he said, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't get this thing to go to I don't know if they pulled the story or not, but apparently Dart called him and said, "Hey, can you get me into such and such restaurant at 6:30?"
No way.
Yeah. Here it is. Left. I'll just put up the highlight. I told Jackson, if you have any questions about anything, I'm here for you. Football related, or when you're deciding what town you want to live in, this or that. But Dart reached out to Manning about something that was totally unexpected, a 5-star restaurant reservation. He says, quote, all of a sudden it's training camp. He calls me one day and is like, "You got a minute?" And I say, "Yeah, of course." He goes, "Can you get me a reservation at 4 Charles tonight at 6:30? And he said, I was like, no, that's not part of the deal. When I said I'm happy to help you out, I'm not doing that. I'm not your reservations guy. You have to earn the right to call and make the reservation. And I read this story and I'm going, all right, is that funny, or is he just an entitled donkey who feels like, hey, can you get me in this restaurant here?
I hope that he was joking, but it didn't sound like it.
I mean, as a rookie to call and go, "Hey, I'm looking for a reservation. Get me in at 6:30 if you can." Like, what? Wait, what? Who are you? I was just picturing Schlereth's response to something like that. We can ask him, but I didn't know how to take that in reading it. I couldn't hear the tone, but I was like, wait. Is that an entitled move, or is that kind of just funny and naive?
Yeah.
So
you still watch the Manning broadcast for Monday Night Football?
I always forget about it.
Yeah.
I have my DVR set to record the game because it starts when we're still on the air. So I feel like I get home, I get Frank taken care of, get all that stuff, and then I flip the TV on to watch the game, and I just completely forget about the Manning cast.
Yeah. They're still funny. I'm gonna have to look up he had these new rules that they should have in place for quarterbacks, and there was something about actually bringing cash on the field and paying the quarterback. He wanted all these stats.
Is this Peyton or Eli?
Go Eli. Or, I'm sorry, Peyton. Yeah, Peyton was, and Eli was just shaking his head. Like, this is ridiculous. But I'll have to look it up here in a second. But there was a whole bunch of different things that were, benefit the quarterback position, of course. But yeah, I mean, as far as Jackson Dart goes, I'm not sure if that's a joke. It really sounds like a joke, which is, I hope it was.
Well, the way
that's really bad.
Well, just say for him to call and say, "Hey, you got a minute? Can you get me in here at 6:30?" It sounds like he's being serious. I don't know. Maybe that's his sense of humor. That would be funny if he did it as a joke. But the way Eli portrays it is like, no. That's not part of the deal. I'm not your reservation guy. So, and I don't know what Fort Charles is. I assume it's a highfalutin place you need to be somebody to get into.
Okay, so a couple of them were any intercepted Hail Marys shouldn't count against the quarterback.
Okay.
And then he said batted balls are illegal. Cash payments on the field for late hits. So a guy hits you late.
he's got a wad of cash in his
cash. There you go. Targets should not be an official statistic. That benefits him, I guess. And he had a couple more, but it was
I assume it's all tongue in cheek. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it on the Hail Mary but you get credit if all of a sudden it's a touchdown. You're getting credit, but.
You know what is interesting, and I had never really even considered this, was that the spike to kill the clock is an attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never even thought to even ask that question because, Sam's first game, Sam Darnold's very first game, if there was 2 pass drops, and then I think there was a spike, and it all of a sudden took him down to, you take those, if you took those attempts away, he was like an 80% passer.
Yeah.
Against the 49ers. But
I'm guessing they all know that too. That's why that's probably something Peyton thought about throughout his career.
Oh, sure.
Man, you take away all those Hail Marys.
Yeah.
My interception total comes down, my completion percentage goes up.
Right.
Yeah. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, who were their guests?
Jeff Daniels was one of them, and then the other one was Danny Dimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I got sent, we get sent odds all the time on different categories, who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to win the MVP. He was like second on the list right now. I mean, it's 3 weeks. But Danny Dimes, who was a cast-off, thought to be a bit of a bust, and he's in a new spot with the Colts, and all of a sudden he can't be stopped, and he's like the second favorite to be the MVP in the league.
Yeah, and they're rolling, man. They're 3-0, so, yeah, interesting.
Can you believe that?
Well, I mean, look at
Josh Allen, number 1. Sorry, he's the favorite. Daniel Jones has gone from 100 to 1 to 50 to 1. Dak Prescott went from 22 to 1 to 100 to 1. So this is just showing the movement.
Well, I mean, recent such players, Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Our guy Sam Darnold. Who there's one more, I guess, besides Danny Dimes, I think. But yeah, I mean, all of a sudden it's like, okay. This guy is not a bust after all, and somebody unlocks him and all of a sudden explains to him, something that makes sense to him offensively, and
just a system that fits him better, or maybe a better O-line. I don't know. Maybe it's it's if you're a Giants fan, are you just going, yeah, of course.
Right.
He's over there shining, and he's being talked about as one of the great quarterbacks in the league, and we're throwing a rookie in there and keeping our fingers crossed he doesn't get mashed behind that line. So, meanwhile, the Seahawks take on the Cardinals for Thursday night football. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. on Thursday on 7:10 a.m. in the Seattle Sports app, of course. Kickoff at 5:15 p.m. You can also catch the Mariners-Rockies series finale this Thursday on the Seattle Sports app and on AM 770 and 98.9 FM. How about that? Pre-game at 5:30, first pitch at 6:40 as always. Or you can just do the easy thing, just download the app, totally free, and find both broadcasts right there on the app. Super convenient. Meanwhile, a major change is coming to Major League Baseball. We're going to talk about the impact of that coming up next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob right here on your home for the Mariners playoff push, Seattle Sports on 710.
It's been a while since we talked magic number around here. This team does that, or whoever beats the other whoever, and yeah, it's a lot. So here's a nerd who can help.
The Mariners win 3 games, Mariners win 1, the Astros lose 2, or a combination of the Tigers, the Red Sox.
Hey, thanks, Lefko. Steamrolling toward the postseason tonight. Mariners and Rockies at T-Mobile. First pitch 6:40.
Chants of the crowd getting louder and louder.
On the home of your first place Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Motorcycle riders, I hope you're taking advantage of this weather. I love getting out there on the bike. Rode out here to the Virginia Mason Athletic Center today, just soaking it up while it's there. And I've gotten texts from a lot of you talking about your bikes, talking about injuries you've sustained and crashes. And if you're somebody out there that's been involved in a motorcycle crash and you're talking to law firms, do not sell for a firm that tells you that they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it. That's Law Tigers. They've been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. And when you're in an accident, you're hurt, you're looking for answers, you're looking for guidance, you need somebody who's going to be there to take your call and be available. And they're there 24/7, 365 days a year, because writers deserve real support when they need it. And Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they're in need. Now, you see them everywhere. Law Tigers is out at all of the events, supporting all the clubs and shops. You see the tents and the vans, billboards everywhere. Law Tigers are always by your side, but even better, your case evaluation is completely free. There are no fees until your case settles. They don't get paid until you get paid. On top of that, they're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced, because they know how important, obviously, all of that is to you. So you never ride alone with the Law Tigers. Washington's motorcycle lawyers, Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
I had pain. I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a Mainview home. Now imagine a Mainview home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought?
Yeah, it's a Mainview, and they saved a bundle.
What are you doing?
Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a Mainview home? A Mainview home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm fortunate to speak with someone who underwent treatment for prostate cancer in February. Dave Wyman here, joined by Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host.
Tim, how did you hear about Swedish Cyberknife?
Well, it was this familiar-sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the Cyberknife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish Cyberknife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it, and I just went, that's it?
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletics Center. You guys can weigh in on the Mariners who get back to it tonight. Game 1 against the Rockies with Bryce Miller on the hill. 5:30 pregame, 6:40 first pitch right here. Seattle Sports on 710. We talked about this just briefly earlier, that that Major League Baseball will officially use the ABS challenge system beginning next season. Now, it's not there are two options there, and they had to vote on this. And they had a panel that included, I think they said 4 players, one of which was Cal Raleigh, Dave. See that?
How about that? You had to wedge that into the conversation.
That was just part of the facts. Okay. But they said a couple of the players, they didn't identify who voted against it. And I'm guessing he was one.
Yeah.
Because it impacts pitch framing.
Yeah, he loves and you know what?
I think all catchers feel like they're great at pitch framing, and it's an art and it's a skill that they've developed, and some are better than others. And
maybe not as much as Cal though. Honestly, it does seem like he mentions that all the time, and during this last series, I want to say there was like 3 or 4, and maybe there was more where he framed a pitch that was outside the zone.
Yeah. He steals a lot of pitches. Yeah. You know, when they put the tracker up there, you see often that thing was, a couple inches off the plate one way or the other, and he snaps it into action there. So he's good at it. There are a lot of catchers that are good at that, and I get it, especially if you feel like, hey, I'm stealing 3, 4, 5 strikes a game with this. That's gonna impact that. So I kind of understand it. They didn't say he voted against it, but I'm kind of guessing he did because they said 2 of the 4 players did.
So they selected 4 players.
Yeah, there was a panel of owners and some players.
I wonder how that selection took place. I mean, maybe
how they determined who voted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, and just why did Cal get selected? I mean, it's obvious, but I'm just curious what the criteria was for other teams that had players that was it a good mixture of pitchers and catchers or?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if they gave an 11-man committee. Some of the 4 players, so there were 4 players.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 11 total. So
I'll bet you Aaron Judge wasn't selected.
No, the list of players is Corbin Burns from Arizona and Zach Gallen, Seattle's Cal Raleigh, Yankees Austin Slater, Cubs Ian Happ, and Detroit's Casey Mize. Those were the players. So the union representatives make their decision. Okay, maybe he didn't vote no. So it says the union reps make their decisions based on input from players on the 30 teams. So maybe if all the players are saying, no, we want this, he reluctantly said, okay.
Yeah,
voting for it.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, for him, you got to believe that he's never going to lose his challenge, right? Because if you continue to get him right, you keep it, right?
Yeah, if you challenge, but he's not going to be able to frame a pitch, pull it out of being a ball into a strike, and then it becoming a strike because the computer's going to show where it was, not where it ended up.
Right.
So it'll take away that pitch that he framed really well. So technically, if he pulls one, let's say he pulls one that's low and away, and he snaps it up here, and they call it a strike, and the batter taps his helmet and says challenge that, it's going to show where he grabbed it.
Yeah, I was just thinking of his challenges, but you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and again, for those that don't know, only the catcher, pitcher, or hitter can call for that challenge. Can't come from the dugout, can't come from any other position player.
Yeah, and when they used it in spring training, it was very
saw it firsthand. It was really quick.
There was lots of times I didn't even know it happened.
Yeah, and they showed up on the big board too, and it's really it's just I was surprised at how quickly it went.
Yeah.
And again, they had the option of going fully automated, where you got basically a computer calling balls and strikes. You still have an ump. You got to make fair or foul. You got to talk about the catcher's interference. You have to have somebody there, plays at the plate, obviously.
Right.
But they could have gone full ABS, and they just went with the challenge system initially. So
do you think that players like Cal think that that's going to eventually be the slippery slope to get?
Yeah, probably. I would guess. I'm in favor of it personally. I know as a catcher, and I get why a catcher who's really adept at framing a pitch. I totally understand it. You're taking away one of their tools, taking away something they do really well.
Yeah, and he's worked on that his whole life. So yeah,
I'd love to know. Does it even out though? Let's say he averages 4 pitches a game that he steals. Right? Are there 4 in a game that he doesn't get that are strikes that get called balls that had he had the challenge, the ability to tap the hat and say, hey, I mean, so does it even out, or is he getting more than they're getting wrong?
Right.
So I don't know. And it's if you challenge, you get it right, you still have your 2 challenges.
All right.
So and then they say in extra innings, if you say you used your challenges through the 9 innings, you get to inning number 10, you get another challenge.
Yeah.
And it keeps going that way. And if you've got challenges still that you didn't burn, they just carry over.
Well, if Cal is against it, we are like-minded, except mine's for a different reason. He likes the pitch framing. I like to complain.
I just think when there's just too much at stake, there's too much consequence attached to it.
Yeah.
Look, if you're talking about a game in the middle of May, and okay, yeah, that's fine. But like this, these 6 games, if we're watching, Bryce Miller on the hill tonight, and you're like, the difference is him getting out of an inning or putting a guy on, and now the next guy comes up and hits one out of the park, and that's a 2-run homer when he should have been out of the inning because that was strike 3.
Right.
And you're playing for a playoff position. There's just too much on the line. You got to get it right. And if you've got the ability to get it right, the technology exists,
you do,
and you can do it in a really quick fashion, as we saw. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those things that 10 years from now people look back and go, how in the world we had the technology to have the automated strike zone, and why in the world didn't we? Because you just want to get it right.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was the same thing in major, in the NFL, I mean, and you weren't using it, because they are using it now. And I think the next thing is going to be that they're going to put a chip in the ball so you know where it is. But it's still a judgment call of where the guy's knee goes down or whether his elbow comes down or whatever. But yeah, I just think it's one of those things, and it's one of those areas where technology can get it right. So why not use it?
Yeah, and it's not, as it sits now, it's not like guys are going to be challenging. You get 2 challenges, so you got to figure out where to use them. So you can still pitch frame. That doesn't go away. Now, if they went full ABS, yeah, that's going to take away pitch framing. But with the challenge system, you're still good.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a very narrow sliver of people that like the pitch framing, but I think most people want to get it right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the appreciation for that, and Cal, I get that part of it, but most fans, I think, are like, if you get screwed, and like you said, sometimes it runs your pitch count up, or just like fouling balls off. It's like, oh, all of a sudden at that, and you go back to, oh, if that guy had called the strike like it should have been,
would have been out of the inning.
10, out of the inning, 10 less pitches,
or didn't give up the next pitch home run to the guy. There are a lot of things there. So, to me, this is kind of the perfect, in between. It's not full ABS, but it allows you to challenge certain pitch. You got to get them right, or the challenges go away. It doesn't eliminate pitch framing, because you can only use it a couple times a game, and you better get it right.
But, I think where the frustration is going to be is if you run out of challenges and then you lose a game because of that. It's like, well, can we make it 3 next year or 4 or whatever? I mean, it should be an infinite number of, challenges, because if it's about getting it right. And I think that's the one thing, even for like some of us boomers that are technologically adverse, I think that the fairer part of it is the main thing, and that's really all that matters.
All right, coming up, what unique way will Mark Schlereth have to describe everything the Seahawks did well on Sunday? It's going to be tie on the door, smoking a cigarette.
Oh, don't bring that up.
What's he going to do?
Please.
What's he going to say? We'll find out together. He's going to join us next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob right here on your home for the first place Seattle Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710.
Touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 38, Max Strong, fullback. Certainly one of the great Seahawks of all time. Selfless player, leader on that offense, played special teams, and was a great receiver out of the backfield.
The Hawks aim for their third straight win, playing under the Thursday night lights in Arizona against the division rival Cardinals. Kickoff 5:15, pregame at 2.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Has it been hot in your house this summer? Maybe worried about the cold coming in this fall and into the winter? Might be because your insulation's just not up to snuff. That was my problem, Mike Salk here, and that's why I called Crawl Pros. They came out, they did a corner-to-corner inspection of my crawl space and attic, and they fixed that problem once and for all. If your home has any damaged insulation or no insulation in the attic or crawl space, you're bleeding money every month to heat and cool your home, but you don't have to. And even better, if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95%, but you gotta act now. Many of these rebates are ending at the end of this year, including the federal incentives. Let Crawl Pros come out and properly insulate your home before the cooler fall weather comes in. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with cherry berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details. If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners get back to it tonight at T-Mobile Park. They welcome the Colorado Rockies to town for a 3-game series beginning tonight with Bryce Miller on the hill. You can catch it all right here starting at 5:30 with the pregame show, 6:40 first pitch. Seattle Sports on 710. Other games going on right now. This one actually not going on. They're in a weather delay in Baltimore. Rays and Orioles still yet to get underway. Headed to the bottom of the second in Cleveland, a huge series between the Guardians and the Tigers. Right now, no score as they head to the bottom of the second in Cleveland. Top of the second, Cincinnati being shut out by the Pirates 2-0. It's the Phillies up 1-0 on the Marlins as they head to the top of the second there. Another game of consequence for Mariner fans, Yankees and White Sox. Game 1 of their series coming their way in about 5 minutes from now. Keep an eye on that one, as well as the Red Sox on the road against the Blue Jays in Toronto. And the Rangers play host to the Twins, as well as the Royals on the road to take on the Angels.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Blue 80, Blue 80, set up! And I snap the ball, and there's just this horrific splash.
It's time to join the stink tank.
The analytics people that I hate your guts.
I take great pleasure in knowing that I'm an irritant.
I'd be the easiest guy in the world to kidnap.
Mark Schlereth. Every Tuesday with Wyman and Bob.
Oh, we look forward to it each and every week, like you guys do. Joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline, he is the one, the only Mark Schlereth here with us. How are you, friend?
I am doing great. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're feeling good. The baseball team is rolling, and looks like they're playoff bound. And we got a football team that went out there and just smacked the daylights out of the Saints. So all is well in the Seattle sports world right now.
Yeah, well, don't count your chickens before they hatch. You've got the juggernaut that is the Rockies. So, like those guys are really giving it to people. So, yeah, I mean.
Do you go?
They wouldn't be 500 against in AAA right now. So they're. I'm serious. They wouldn't be 500. They're awful, just awful.
Yeah. The record speaks volumes to it. But I'm curious. We'll get to football. But do you get out to many Rockies games? Are you somebody that will tough it out just for spend a day in the sunshine and watch baseball? Or are you like, this is just garbage, I'm not going?
I have quit going. I spent a lot of time, watching Colorado Rockies baseball, being invested in Colorado Rockies baseball, going to Colorado Rockies. One of the greatest times of my life is my son came here when he was playing with Detroit, and he stayed at our house instead of staying at the hotel. And I drove him down to Coors Field, went in the back where the players go, and dropped him off like it was a Little League game. And he was pitching in the big leagues. And it was awesome. I saw all the guys. And I knew back then, I knew all the Rockies players. So I see Held. Hey, what's up, Todd? Hey, he's just dropping off Daniel. It was the coolest, like one of the coolest things ever for me as a father. And now, no, I just refuse to watch Colorado Rockies baseball because it's just pathetic. It's a joke.
That is so cool. Were you like, hey, don't forget your lunch? No.
Yeah, no, it was 100% like that, Dave. And then I'm in the tunnel afterwards, and Daniel came in and threw a scoreless inning where I think he struck out the side, and it was like Heldon, Tulowitzki, and Seth Smith. And I've known Helton forever, right? And I used to bring Daniel to spring training when Helton was playing. And Todd, because he was a lefty, gave my son, first baseman mitts and things. And he walks through the tunnel, and I saw Todd, and he was livid. Like livid. I can't believe this little turd struck me out. So anyhow, it was a really cool moment. We still talk about it on occasion. So anyhow,
that's
cool
pretty
moment.
cool. That is very cool.
Well, you got 25 wins at home out of the Rockies, so the fans there, there's been some joy. Not a lot.
Out of 81 home games, 25 wins. Hey, Mark, how do you put this win in perspective for the Seahawks? Because watching this team, watching the Saints, I was going, my goodness, what a mess. I mean, they had a drive where they had 4 plays in a row with a flag. They had 11 flags on the day. They seemed to be completely out of it. So coming out of this game, you're happy the Seahawks won. They blew the doors off them. But I'm going, all right, is that more about the Seahawks being a good team, or is that more about the Saints being really just a mess right now? Or I guess maybe the truth lies somewhere in between. What do you think?
I mean, it's interesting because you look at the first 2 weeks, the Saints actually played pretty decent football. Spencer Rattler played pretty decent football. I mean, they were pretty good, and albeit in losses, they were competitive in those losses. So it's interesting. I was talking to one of my producer buddies who produced one of their games and was just like, hey, listen, man, they're a lot better than you think. And then they go out there and do that. So I put more of that on Seattle, more of that on Seattle's defense, more of that on, that organization in general. And we talked about, like, this offense would find its way under Clint Kubiak. They got to figure out what they're good at and develop in that fashion. But defensively, your ability to win special teams, to win on defense, and to win on offense. I mean, that's how blowouts happen. When you're winning all 3 phases, and I know as cliche as that sounds, it's cliche because it's true. When you're winning all 3 phases, you got a chance to get a blowout, and that's how those things happen, and that's exactly what transpired.
Mark, have you noticed, because you've covered a lot of teams and called a lot of games, different teams, and I'm wondering are you able to tell there are certain I feel like there are certain teams that just concentrate and they focus on special teams, and then there are teams that kind of give it lip service, like, oh yeah, it's 1/3 of, and then they don't work on it as much. And and that was something that we had back when I played here in Seattle. Rusty Tillman, who was just a special team demon as a player, and then he just emphasized it and made it a big thing. Do you think that that's one area where if you're really good, like there's other teams that are kind of giving it lip service but not really specializing in special teams?
Yeah, I think it comes down from the head coach, where the head coach, like where that head coach kind of grew up in regards to football. And so, I think the head coaches that really just don't pay lip service to it, but really believe in it and really emphasize it and really make it a priority on their football team, you get better play out of that stuff and better play from those special teams units. So, there are always those teams that's the biggest difference. We used to, when I first got in the league in Washington, we used to have an official that would come in and, like once a week on Fridays or whatever, and give this rundown, or Saturday night before the game, the hidden yardage. He had this gold sheet. He called it the hidden yardage sheet. And it was incredible because it would be like, hey, listen, here's where we got this, 32-yard return, and here's the next play off of that, and this is what, like, and you'd see all the impact that it makes that oftentimes you don't think. And sometimes it's as easy as, hey, man, here's, where they could have downed it inside the 10, and this guy, caught it and made a fair catch at the 15, and that extra 5 yards got us, when we got our first down, we were able to punt and get out of there and flip the field. And little things like that you don't necessarily think about as you're watching a game, or you don't really necessarily study, that makes, like, you look at the cause and effect of that stuff, and it just becomes huge. Like in our day, Dave, and I was talking to Chip Kelly, and I was talking to Dan Quinn about this. in our day, when you used to punt it out of the end or kick it out of the end zone on kickoff return, you got the ball at the 20. Like half your offense was pared out of your playbook, right? The menu was cut in half because the only thing you were thinking about is let's get off the goal line, let's get a first down, and then we can open up our playbook. Now the ball is always on the 35-yard line. The entirety of your offense is open. So that extra 15 yards, that hidden yardage there, makes all the difference in the world from a play caller standpoint. There's nothing that you can't call from the 30, but there's plenty of things you would never call from the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, the one thing we were talking about in such a lopsided win, and it felt like everything went well. I guess if we're nitpicking, the one area they didn't excel was running the ball. They carried it 33 times for a total of 87 yards. So it just wasn't good.
That's where you and I have a different perspective.
Okay. What's yours?
Yeah. Mine is I don't spend a lot of time yards per carry average. Like, I know we all get enamored by yards per carry average. My biggest indicator of the run game is attempts.
Okay.
When you get a lot of attempts, you control the tempo of the game. You open up your play action. And even if you're getting 2 or 3 yards a carry, I know those second-level defenders, those linebackers and everything else, when you flag that ball out there, man, they can't help but step up because the most humiliating thing in the world, and Dave will tell you, and I played defense through college, the most humiliating thing in the world is getting a run down your throat.
Yep.
That's way worse than getting it thrown over your head. And so, because there's a physicality, there's a manhood, like a type A personality manhood that gets challenged when somebody's running down your throat. So even if you're having success, man, you want to stop the run. So even if you're just getting attempts and you're wearing teams out, the other thing that happens when you get 33 attempts, all of a sudden the pass rush isn't as good. So there's this ancillary benefit, and we just look at the yards per carry and go, wow, we didn't run it very well. And I look at this scheme and say, for a coordinator to be able to stay in that when you're not having great success from a yards per carry average, but you understand the value of doing it, like that to me is the perspective that I always look at. And I went back through our 1998 championship team when I was in Denver, and we averaged on the season 34 carries per game. And in the playoffs, I think we went 38, 38, and 42 in the playoffs to a championship. So it has a different connotation to it to me than just the yards per carry stuff.
Yeah, interesting. I think you're right. What about this D line?
I'm right, Dave.
Well,
that's why you guys pay me the big money to come on the show.
All right, next time I'm going to say, well, I think you're wrong. Anyway, on to the next. We're talking about the D-line, and you like to use war daddies, but, man, there was a couple of examples in this game where Jaron Reed, Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams, and I love when Leo makes a play and then he bares his teeth. That he looks like a lion, out in the wild, just baring his teeth and screaming. I mean, that guy is just terrifying. Nicest guy in the world, but yeah, I mean, it just looks like those three guys. I mean, if they can stay healthy, I don't know how you block them, and they're all three splitting double teams.
Yeah, the film, and I watched a bunch of Seahawks stuff. I wasn't able to watch this week because I'm out in Tampa celebrating my granddaughter's 9th birthday. So I had that. Normally, before I talk to you guys, I get that watched, but I didn't. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, with Leonard Williams, I mean, with that dude's smile, those are some chiclets there too. Those things, his teeth are like playing cards. They're so damn big, and he's just giant. The guy is just ginormous, and you're right. Just watching Jaron Reed play and what he's been able to do, they are so big, and so, it's one thing to be big. Like, I didn't mind you being big and strong, that was fine, or I didn't mind you being quick and athletic, that was fine too. I had a plan for both of those things. It's when you're quick and athletic and big and strong too, that's when it becomes a problem. And they have a bunch of those guys, especially Leonard Williams, who is big, strong, fast, and athletic. That's a really tough combination to play against when you play offensive line.
Is there anything you've seen on this team that surprised you in a good way? I know it's only 3 games, and we're still trying to figure out, what team does what well. But, defensively, I think we all expected, based on how they ended the season last year, that they would hit the ground running because there wasn't a ton of turnover on that side of the ball, and especially with coaching and scheme. So I'm curious, is this what you expected, or might this defense as a unit be maybe even a little better than you expected at this point?
Yeah, I think probably a little. I mean, I thought they would be good. I thought it'd be the strength of their football team, and I think certainly it has been. But it's more than, it's putting the scheme together, which Dave would know a lot more about than I would, just how well the scheme is working, the fits are working on the defensive side of the ball. So, and they've done it without their nickel guy, because that guy's phenomenal.
Witherspoon.
Yeah, Witherspoon. Spoon has just been phenomenal, and I don't know if they got him back this week or not, but that dude's a huge difference maker in a position in today's NFL. That nickel position is probably the most important part of your football team, or at least the top 2 or 3. So that's been impressive. I think you look at offensively. I think that just being able to stay the course and what they've done, the connection that Darnold seems to have with Smith and Jigba has been fun to watch. It really feels like that's a great connection that is going to continue to grow, but everything else will kind of grow off of that, So I've seen that early in the season. That gives me great hope for this offense to keep making strides.
Hey, Stink, over the last few years, there's been something happening that I just don't remember it being the case in years past, is the resurrection of quarterbacks. And right now it's Danny Dimes in Indianapolis. And then, Sam Darnold falls into that category. A little bit with Baker Mayfield, a little bit with Jared Goff, going to Detroit. I mean, it's just kind of interesting that, these guys that sit in the NFL and somehow they just get unlocked. I don't even know how to ask the question. Like, what is it? What do you think is going on? Because that used to never happen. It was just like somebody would fall out of favor, and he was supposed to be good, and then he was a bust, and the end.
Yeah. It's interesting because I've had this conversation a bunch on the Stinking Truth podcast, and I've had it with different coaches around the league. And I'll give you Sam Darnold, for instance, and I think we've talked about it on this show that, he goes from the Jets, and with the Jets, they're trying to have him run the Peyton Manning offense, which, Kyle Shanahan told me there's only one person on the history of the planet that can run the Peyton Manning offense, and that's Peyton Manning. And then he goes to Matt Rule, and it's this collegiate one read, zone read and RPO system, and it's not a true progression offense. So for Sam Darnold, he was in the league for 3 years. He was in his 4th year before he actually was in a progression style of offense, like a real offense. And you and I have talked about this. There are a lot of really crappy coaches in the National Football League, and there are a lot of owners. And you guys are having a great run, with your guy who's a young guy and Mike McDonald. But there are a lot of owners that just want to hire a young guy because they think, young guys can communicate with young players, and that's just a false pretense. It's just silly. But that's what's going on in the league right now. So there's a lot of really bad coaches. And so these quarterbacks don't get coached. You look at Baker Mayfield. He goes Cleveland. They go to the playoffs. The next year they're, I think, a game under 500, and they cut him. And then he bounced around. He's in Carolina. At one point, he's in Carolina, and he is on scout team. I've got video of him on scout team playing defensive end at Carolina. And what people forget is they actually cut him. So they literally cut him, and then the Rams sign him, and he plays that Christmas Day game under Sean McVay, and they hang 50 on him against the Broncos, I believe. And then he goes, into a similar style of that same offense with Dave Canales at Tampa. And then he gets Liam Cohen, who comes from that same, family of offense. And here we are, all these years later. I mean, he's had 3 drives at the end of the game with a minute and change left and gotten 3 victories. Been behind 3 different games and gotten 3 victories out of the deal. And it's amazing. He's playing at an MVP level. And, and you look at him, he was thrown to the curb or thrown to the thrown out with the trash by several different other organizations.
Hey, what's your thought on Russell Wilson out there? The word is he's going to be benched in favor of the rookie Jackson Dart. And it's interesting, last week he goes career high 450 yards and 3 touchdowns, and everybody's like, my goodness, he looks like Russell rejuvenated. And then this most recent game, he looked horrible, and the line looked horrible. It didn't look like a good team, but is that the right move there? Do you think, A, 2 questions. Do you think Russell's washed? And B, do you throw what could be your future quarterback, your future franchise guy behind a suspect line, and maybe shines or maybe gets his brains beaten in?
One, not everybody thought that he was back after that game against Dallas. I, for one, thought he still stunk. So 1 me, 0 you, Bob. I still knew the truth, even though people were like pointing the finger. Oh, he's back. And I was like, no, he's not. He was he was Frank the Tank when he was in old school when he was having a debate against James Carville. He just went into this whole nother world, out-of-body experience. Man, all I can tell you is you look at the end of that game, they're down 22-9, and it's 1st and goal on the 4. He throws one so far into the stands on 1st down that they flag him for intentional grounding. Now it's 2nd down and 14, and then he closes his eyes on a QB draw and gets about 3 yards. Then he throws 3rd down and goal from about the 14-yard line. He throws that damn thing, or the 10-yard line. He throws that thing about 8 rows up into the stands. And then it's 4th down and goal. And he throws another one. Like, that's a fireable offense. Like, what are you trying to do? Preserve your legacy because you already threw 2 picks and you don't want to throw another? So you don't even give anybody an opportunity? This is not fan cast. We're not throwing it to fans to see if they can catch it. It was pathetic. It was selfish. It was everything that I can't stand about watching him play. And they should have done it. They should have done it 10 weeks ago when I told them on the Stink of Truth podcast, you should fire him and start Jackson Dart from day one because he can't play. I was right. You were wrong. I am smart. You're dumb. I am skinny. You are fat, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I love the me 1, you 0. That's great.
Well, I think that one that's kind of one to end with.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. All right.
The drop the mic moment there.
Mark, we love you. We appreciate you, man. As always, we'll do it again next week.
All right, back at you. Take care.
Thanks, Mark.
There you go, Mark Schlereth.
See, Bob, that's why he keeps coming on with us, because he knows he can make you laugh.
That was pretty funny.
He likes it. That was pretty good.
Me 1, you 0. All right. If you guys missed any part of Schlereth, I would highly recommend checking it out on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Just click the podcast tab, scroll down to our picture, click on that, and it'll be right there waiting for you. Meanwhile, we've got an early contender for Wyman of the Week, and it involves some of the worst opinions in the baseball world. That is coming your way next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob right here on your home for the Mariners playoff push. Seattle Sports on 710.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passan with Brock and Salk.
How complete is this Mariner team right now?
We have a story coming out on ESPN.com. I think it's tomorrow. First question, what's the boldest prediction you've heard from an MLB executive or scout? Passan, the Seattle Mariners are going to win the World Series. If you just objectively look at what the Mariners are doing right now, they've had the best offense in Major League Baseball in the month of September.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Motorcycle riders, are you soaking up this weather while it's here? I'm somebody that will not be riding in the rain and the cold, so these days I'm trying to make them count. Rode out here today to the Virginia Mason Athletic Center, and a lot of you have checked in with me on the text line talking about your bikes and rides you've taken, and some of you talking about injuries you've suffered in motorcycle crashes. And if you're somebody that's been injured in a motorcycle crash and you're talking to law firms, Here's what you don't do. Don't settle for a firm that tells you that they're motorcycle lawyers. You got to trust the ones who actually live it. That's Law Tigers. They've been a part of the writing community for nearly a quarter century nationwide, and they are there when you need them most. You get into an accident and you're injured, you're looking for guidance, you're looking for help and answers. They are there for you 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support when they're most in need. And the Law Tigers is the resource riders can count on. Now, you see them everywhere. Law Tigers are out there at all the events, supporting all the clubs and shops. You see the vans and the tents and billboards. The Law Tigers are always there by your side. And even better, your case evaluation is completely free. You don't pay any fees until your case settles. So they don't get paid until you get paid. And on top of that, they're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced, because they know how important those things are to you. You never ride alone with the Law Tigers. Washington's motorcycle lawyers, Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Upgrade your home's comfort, style, and energy efficiency before winter during Lake Washington Windows Autumn Savings Event. Save $500 on every window, $1,000 on every door, plus enjoy 0 payments and 0 interest for 12 months. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us, with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99, and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with 0 risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This is where you hear every moment of Cal Raleigh's historic season.
Holy smokes, the magical year continues.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a Mainview home. Now imagine a Mainview home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought? Yeah, it's a Mainview, and they saved a bundle. What are you doing? Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a Mainview home? A Mainview home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm joined by Tim Hunter, who underwent treatment in February. Tim, what's it like to go through the CyberKnife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Our thanks to Mark Schlereth, who joined us in the previous segment. In case you all are just tuning in and missed that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Always great stuff from him, so definitely check that out. And El Hombre, Michael Bradley, will join us at 5 p.m. as he does each and every Tuesday, unless we're preempted by the Mariners. So he'll join us today at 5. And Dave asking if we should start the trash talk with the Mariners-Phillies potential matchup in a World Series. And I don't know about that yet. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. Yeah. The Phillies had their way with the Mariners.
Yes, they did.
I don't want him to come out and start, sending me more pictures of him holding a broom.
How cool would that be, though, to get the Phillies? Because I don't really care about the National League.
He'd be insufferable.
You think?
Oh, yes. Yeah. He'll tell you that. We'll ask him.
You're right. He would admit to that.
Yeah, so we'll talk to El Hombre coming up at 5 p.m. Meanwhile, New York media is apparently, according to the way Lefko wrote this out, they're up in arms over the idea that Cal Raleigh is having a legitimate case made for the AL MVP. And this is Evan Roberts and, of course, Tiki Barber, the WFAN drive time show out there. And in their highly educated opinion, they think Cal Raleigh being the MVP, that conversation has no merit.
There is nothing personal between me and Cal Raleigh. He's just not the MVP. And I understand. Oh, he's a switch hitter. He's hit a lot of home runs. He's got a fat ass. Like, all of that's true and it's cool, but he's not the MVP. And I'm getting annoyed by this. I'm annoyed by the discourse because, quite frankly, it's not even close, Tiki.
No, it's not. Especially when you go look at the bold. The bold is what you get when you go to Baseball Reference. There's a couple of bold with Cal Raleigh because he's hit 56 home runs and has 118 RBIs. But everything else is Aaron Judge.
Well, he's hit 58, Donkey, and the other thing is
that pissed me off.
I don't have anything against Cal Raleigh. What is this guy screaming about? What are you talking about, man? Did you just start watching baseball? Are we just looking at the offensive stats? Are we going to look at these players in totality and what they bring to the field? I'm not debating the offensive numbers for Judge. It'd be silly. It's silly to do that. He's got Cal beat in a number of categories and by a pretty wide margin. If we're talking OPS, talking average, talking on base. I get it. I'm not saying Cal Raleigh should be a shoo-in, but to just look at, well, his average is so much lower and his on base is so much lower and he only has home runs and RBI. It's like you're completely discounting who this guy is at a premium position, which Judge does not play. And Judge was a DH for a very good chunk of the season after he was out. So he didn't play the whole season, and then he didn't play a position for a portion of the season. Whereas Cal is playing the premium position, the hardest, physically most demanding position in all of baseball, managing a rotation, managing a bullpen. And to discount that just makes me feel like you don't really understand baseball. I'm not going to be the you don't know ball guy, but you're ignoring a very large part of what that job entails. This is not a subtlety. This is a very obvious and glaring portion of his job that Aaron Judge, frankly, doesn't have.
Well, and you used a good word there. They just entirely ignored it. They didn't, and then he had to throw the fat butt in there, and it just was so disrespectful. And like he was,
I think he's trying to be funny.
Yeah, I mean, but he was so outraged, and it's ridiculous. It's definitely a conversation. I get the whole bold thing, but I still really like RBIs, and Cal's got a bold number there with 121. So I mean, and he got the home runs wrong. I just thought it was incredible that he.
Maybe this was before he hit 58. Maybe
yeah, but it's just incredible that he didn't. He just entirely ignored the whole part of what makes this such a unique and what makes him a very unique player. And that's that he's managing a rotation and he's a leader, and he's handled everything just as well as Aaron Judge. I know Aaron Judge is a really good guy. I remember when he hit was it 62, and they interviewed him. He was great, good man, just like Cal. I mean, but just to not even mention the fact that this guy's playing one of the most grueling positions in baseball. It's the most grueling.
Yeah, there isn't another one that compares.
Yeah, not even compares. So, I mean, that to me, it just pissed me off. I don't know. I like Tiki Barber and everything, but that one got me. I heard it, Bump and Stacy played it today on their show, and I was outraged.
Yeah, well,
I immediately cut somebody off in traffic.
Yeah, that'll teach him. Here's another cut from Evan Roberts and Tiki Barber talking about Judge, in their opinion, has worse pieces around him, so he's more valuable to his team.
And by the way, also look at their teams. Julio Rodriguez is a hell of a player.
Right.
Randy Arozarena is a hell of a player. Even though Eugenio Suarez hasn't done much since getting there, they got talent on this team. Let's not act like the Mariners or the Sisters of the Poor. Aaron Judge carries the New York Yankees. We all know it. We all talk about it. What are the Yankees without Aaron Judge? What are the Yankees without Aaron Judge? What, we forgot now? Because Cal Raleigh's got a cool nickname because his ass is big? I mean, this is absurd.
It's not funny.
Boy, that's a really shrill voice. Ugh, goodness. But
425 says, you guys should fight those clowns.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
in.
good. I'm in.
Yeah.
Judge carries the Yankees. Okay, I'll trust him on that because unlike him, I'm not going to pretend I watch every Yankee game. He clearly doesn't watch every Mariner game because if not for Cal, this team is nowhere near the position they are. That's the reality. This offense was not functioning in the first half of the season. Cal was the consistent factor. You had guys chipping in here and there, but Julio was off to a terrible start. Polanco had a great April, fell off a cliff in May. I mean, you didn't have Naylor. You didn't have, what do you call him, Eugenio Suarez?
Yeah.
Whatever. You didn't have those guys in the fold. This offense was scuffling in the first half, right? We all talked about it. Plus, you had pitchers that were hurt. That Cal's got to work with Emerson Hancock. He's got to work with Evans. He's got to work with all these young guys and try to get them through games. So that's somebody that just hasn't seen it and is not paying attention. It's just looking at it now going, well, look at the names. Look at these guys that are in the lineup. Well, these guys weren't producing. This was not a good offense in the first half of the season, and Cal was the lone guy carrying the mail for this team. So, again, it's just an uneducated opinion. I'm sure he probably knows baseball. I think he's trying to be funny. He's got a horrible voice. But, yeah, it's just I don't, I guess they're just trying to be entertained. They're in New York, so, look, we're making our case for Cal. They're making their case for Judge. It's just it's clearly, it'd be like me saying, well, the Yankees, Judge hasn't done squat because I don't know. I don't watch all of their games.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to pretend I know the dynamics of that team inside and out because I don't.
Well, and where the texters are weighing in, MVP isn't best hitter. Where would the Mariners be without Cal?
They wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be here. And I don't know what the Yankees record was when Judge got hurt, when he was out. I don't. Maybe there's merit to that. Maybe he is the lone force, and when he got back, they turned things around. Who knows? But
and how hard is it to be a switch hitter? I mean, that's a big deal. And he's like saying, I mean, what a huge advantage that gives you as a hitter. And yeah, he's just like entirely discount that and don't even mention the fact that he's a leader on this team. He manages the rotation. Yeah,
he's just dismissing the responsibilities of a catcher. It's just he's ignoring that and just looking at the stat sheet of offensive numbers. And again, Judge is going to shine there. Not even going to debate that, but you got to be able to look at the entirety of the guy's game and what position, what's being asked of that player. A right fielder / DH versus a catcher / DH at times too.
Yeah.
So it's not comparable. It's not an apples to apples comparison. One I know are up against the break, but one more here. This is a Guardians catcher, Austin Hedges, JM Baseball with Chris Rose, I guess a podcast or TV show he was on with him, but talking about Cal and the season he's having.
To go out and perform like a position player does is something that I really don't know we'll ever see again. I mean, even for him to be able to repeat it will be incredible. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, last year when he hit 30 homers and drove in 100 and won the Platinum Glove, that's one of the greatest catching seasons of all time. Like, just absolutely mind-boggling how good he was last year. And now he's just completely, like, just 10 times himself. So to me, that's the MVP of baseball this year.
Wow. He's the MVP?
To me, he's the most valuable player in the American League. What he has done for Seattle and that group, their team is obviously much better now. They've made some moves. But for 4 months of the season, it was Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh giving up no runs behind the plate and hitting all the homers.
Raleigh.
Yeah, but he's right.
Yep.
At least he knew that. Cal was carrying the load for the first half of that season, man, waiting for everybody else to find their rhythm and get hot on a consistent basis. So
I've never seen this many texts come in. People are pissed. People are pissed.
I get it.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. I get it, trying to, and he's
pandering to the New York audience. They're on in New York. I get it.
And he got a reaction out of us, and I guess that's what he wants, but it just couldn't be more untrue.
I'm just having a hard time getting past his voice, but okay.
Somebody said it sounds like he's already got punched in the throat.
It sounds like it. It's a horrible voice. Hey, by the way, we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks 50th season celebration game on October 5th. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. It's completely free. You can enter every day to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, September 29th. Meanwhile, we learned something interesting about Gray Zabel's personality. You're going to hear about that when we sweep the dial. Coming up with Wyman and Bob right here on your home for the first place Seattle Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710.
It's been a while since we talked magic number around here. This team does that, or whoever beats the other whoever, and yeah, it's a lot. So here's a nerd who can help.
The Mariners win 3 games, Mariners win 1, the Astros lose 2, or a combination of the Tigers, the Red Sox.
Hey, thanks, Lefko. Steamrolling toward the postseason tonight. Mariners and Rockies at T-Mobile. First pitch 6:40.
Chants of the crowd getting louder and louder.
On the home of your first place Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Harley Exteriors. And, since I stopped playing football, me and my family, we've been very fortunate to live in the same house for over 20 years. And that type of longevity obviously is a good thing, except 22 years now, I think, 23 years in the same house. That means a lot of things start to break, and no, I did not break them. Most recently, it's been our windows. Virtually every seal has broken, and that's why I reached out to Harley Exteriors. They're local, they're huge fans of our teams and big listeners at the radio station, but better yet, they have the best product. Olympic Series windows offered exclusively through Harley Exteriors are manufactured right here in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. And that means cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. And because we celebrate the start of the football season around here, I talked with the guys at Harley Exteriors, and they're offering no interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, if you buy one window, you get the second one 40% off. And they'll take another $200 off your entire project. So to get a hold of them, call 833-HARLEY. That's 8333-HARLEY. Or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
This is Joe Budden. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. So I'm here to make sure you don't miss any of the daily fantasy action this football season with PrizePicks, where it's good to be right.
Download the PrizePicks app today and use code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. That's code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Out here, pets are always by your side, watching the herd, running fence lines, or asleep at your feet. Pets are some of our favorite customers. When you bring them along to Tractor Supply, we'll always have a treat waiting. And with our price match guarantee,
you'll always get the best price on their favorite food, toys, treats they love, and pet meds to keep them healthy. Tractor Supply, for pets out here.
If you plan to use the carpool lanes along SR 167, you'll soon need a flex pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game Sunday, October 5th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, September 23rd through September 29th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Molly Hatchet is bringing their iconic Southern Rock to the Event Center at Silver Reef Casino Resort on Saturday, September 27th. Prepare for an unforgettable night of hits like Flirtin' with Disaster and Gator Country. Mark your calendars for Saturday, September 27th. Tickets are on sale now and start at just $30. Don't miss your chance to see Molly Hatchet at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Get your tickets today at silverreefcasino.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Well, Greg Zabel was headbutted, in the opening drive of the game. No big deal. Sam Darnold was asked about that today, and we learned a little something about Gray Zabel in the process.
I didn't hear what he said there. I've heard him say a couple things to some guys, and, I admire the trash talk. I think Gray is, he's smart with it. He's not going to say anything that crosses the line, but he's a good trash talker, I will say.
Yeah, he's pretty...
Were O-linemen trash talkers in your day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy.
Schlereth clearly was, but...
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure Mark had some good stuff. There was a guy, Steve Wisniewski, who was my arch enemy, and he never swore.
It makes it worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, it made
Phillip
me more
Rivers.
angry. Yeah. I remember I think I missed a tackle one time, and he's like, "Hey, next time, open your eyes." I'm like, shut up, you bleepity bleep bleep bleep, and then he just walk away. But
he said, "I know you are, but what am I?"
Yeah. Then one time I loaded up and I hit him hard and knocked him back, and I was like, "Oh, that felt good." And he's like, "Yeah, well, the play went over there." So he was pretty good at it. He made me mad.
And you went, "Shut up again."
Yeah, you shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Sweeping the dial.
Former defensive linebacker? No. Defensive end, yeah. Chris Long on the Green Light podcast highlights one aspect of Sam Darnold's game that he doesn't think is getting enough credit.
16% pressure rate Sunday. Seahawks have given up 3 sacks on the year. Okay, last year the offensive line was abhorrent. And part of it was, I think Sam Darnold's a little bit more mobile than people give him credit for. We saw another play yesterday where he rolls left, gets out of trouble, dumps the ball. I don't know why I threw it left-handed, but he throws it to JSN. Last week, he beat the blitz in a key moment, kind of escaped Patrick Queen. I think that he's earning the respect. It's a pattern, guys. The guys in Minnesota, they respected him as the year went on. This year, it feels like already the Seahawks players, when you read the quotes, are like, they're really into playing with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, he's like me. He's winning people over, slowly. Not all the way there, but he's trending the right way. Probably, I'm guessing players probably had questions like, what's he going to look like when the lights are bright?
Oh, when you said he's like me, I thought you were talking about you're slowly winning people over.
Oh, no. I've won nobody over. And I don't throw with my left hand. No, but just I think he's winning I'm trending the right way with him. I'm waiting to see more, certainly, but I'm feeling better about him with each game.
Yeah, we talked about this on the huddle. I said I think it kind of feels like it's going to take a long time for him, for fans to really start to accept him. But that play where he's talking about Patrick Queen hit him in the chops, I think it was Patrick Queen. That makes you admire him even more, because I think that was the throw that he delivered to Horton in Pittsburgh. That wide open, beautiful throw, touchdown, and takes one in the chops and gets up and walks to the sidelines.
Yeah.
Sweeping the dial.
ESPN's Doug Glanville, who called the finale, actually, of Mariners-Astros on ESPN Radio, says, the Mariners, he thinks they have all the pieces to win a World Series.
I mean, they could win it all. They absolutely could. They have the personnel. They have the offense. They have the pitching. And, they seem to have the belief, too, because the way they're coming, they went into Houston and wiped them out on their home field against some of their best pitchers. Just shows, where they are. And there's a lot at stake, of course, in the next 6 days, the next 6 games. But they're a team that has power, especially after the trade they made for Suarez and Josh Naylor. And they have starters that can really take care of business in a 7-game series. And they have a back end of the bullpen. So, with Cal Raleigh in the middle of all that, they are a tough team.
Brown, Valdez. Who was the third pitcher on the Sunday game?
Jason Alexander.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because our guy Larry Stone had a funny tweet about him with the Seinfeld reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, they beat the daylights out of him quick. He's right in that you look at it, you look at the roster, you look at the lineup, you look at the rotation. Hopefully Woo's okay, and you got full health with your starting 5. Bullpen gets some rest. It's not about their talent, it's about just rest. I mean, there's certain guys in there you feel less comfortable with at times, certainly, but they do have all the pieces. Absolutely have all the pieces. That doesn't mean they're going to win, but it makes you feel good, because to me there aren't the obvious holes. We could have done this every year and said, well, they don't have this. Who's playing here? What are you going to do about this spot? Right now, I don't feel like that. I feel like the only thing that's been hurting them, even in that series, was routine plays. They booted some balls on the infield, some poor throws from JP where you're like, okay, those are correctable. They're frustrating because those are things in your control. But outside of that, their defense has been fantastic, and everything else seems to be clicking.
Only concerning thing maybe is just the tightness in the pec for Wu.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. They're healthy. And I never thought that they were going to get Robles back. I haven't seen that, and seeing him walking around in that big sling, I was like, how in the world is he going to get healthy this year?
Just so long ago that happened. It's just amazing. All right, coming up, a lot happening in the sports world. We'll catch up on all of it with El Hombre. Michael Bradley, he joins us next year with Wyman and Bob on your home for the Mariners playoff push, Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
It's been a while since we talked magic number around here. You know, this team does that, or whoever beats the other whoever, and yeah, it's a lot. So here's a nerd who can help.
The Mariners win 3 games, Mariners win 1, the Astros lose 2, or a combination of the Tigers, the Red Sox.
Hey, thanks, Lefko. Steamrolling toward the postseason tonight. Mariners and Rockies at T-Mobile. First pitch 6:40.
Chance of the crowd getting louder and louder.
On the home of your first place Mariners, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
You guys have heard Dave and I talking about our injuries and everything we've gone through as far as trying to get back into shape and trying to get back into just being able to do the things you want to do without going under the knife, without surgery. And some of you have checked in and talking about things you're dealing with and talking about surgery. Well, if you're talking about surgery, put a pause on that for a moment. You want to check out Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Now, I did that based on the testimonials I heard. I heard Dave talking about it. I went there because my hip was just killing me. After 14 years of jiu-jitsu and sparring and all that damage to my body, I was in a position where I thought I was looking at surgery. I had a torn labrum, frayed tendon, the bursa sac was inflamed, arthritis developing, just all kinds of things. Went to see Dr. Mark Wagner. Completely upfront with me, told me it doesn't fix every last thing there, but it will go a long way into helping you, and he was 100% right. 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Mark Wagner has been an absolute difference maker for me. He is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. So people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, get back to doing what they enjoy doing, and they do it without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, an elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever you're dealing with, before you choose surgery, do what I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Just head to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
If you've been considering upgrading your siding, now is the perfect time. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. In the Pacific Northwest, moisture is the enemy. Old failing siding leads to hidden water damage, rot, and mold. State Roofing and Exteriors is a James Hardy preferred contractor with over 55 years of siding expertise. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your siding inspection today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need. The insurance world, it can be confusing, so have First Mark Insurance guide you through it by taking the free First Mark Challenge. They'll explore offerings from top carriers for better coverage and lower rates. They save the Heward family thousands. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer premium windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and come with clean glass technology. And Leak Armor Installation gives you a lifetime warranty to protect your home. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars
Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More fast internet speed.
He's got the gigs to go big, bring him the games.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop, his quantum fiber's on top. Hey to you. Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Well, the Mariners get back to business tonight at T-Mobile Park. They welcome the Colorado Rockies to town for a 3-game series. It's the first 3 of their last 6, if you will, of the regular season. Bryce Miller will be taking the hill for your Seattle Mariners, facing off against McCade Brown, who comes in with an 0-4 record with a 9.17 ERA. You can catch all of the action starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, games going on right now. They've gotten things underway in Baltimore, where they were in the midst of a rain delay. Right now it's 1-0 Orioles over the Rays. In a very important series, the top of the 6th in Cleveland, Tigers up on the Guardians 2-0 right now in game 1 of that series. Pirates up 4-2 on the Reds in the bottom of the 5th. Phillies shutting out the Marlins 3-0 in the top of the 5th in Philadelphia. Yankees out to a 1-0 lead over the White Sox, headed to the bottom of the 3rd. Red Sox up on the Blue Jays right now, headed to the top of the 4th, 1-0 the score there. Nationals up 1-0 on the Braves, and the Mets and Cubs get together in Chicago, 2-1 the score in that one, top of the 2nd.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
Yeah, you know what you can get me, Pee-wee? What? El Hombre.
That was a catastrophe.
I know.
That's a new low.
Yeah.
Roz is better.
El Hombre.
The natural meets Rudy meets. I don't even know how to describe it.
El Hombre.
He's here, everybody. You look forward to it every Tuesday at 5 p.m. We bring in this man for a conversation on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. He is the one, the only El Hombre. Michael Bradley is here with us. How are you, buddy?
Que pasta, everybody.
Que pasta. We're all in a good mood out here because, hey, the Seahawks went out there and just throttled the Saints, which was great, but the Mariners swept the Astros. And if not for one shaky night out of one of their relievers, this team would be in the midst of a 15-game winning streak. They have just been on fire with 6 to go, and the Rockies coming to town. And we're all looking at the 2nd seed in the American League. Have you had a chance to take in anything, any sort of Mariner baseball highlights or anything like that out there?
Well, the big dumper keeps hitting home runs, and I've seen that you guys took the 3 straight from the Astros, which has to make you happy, Bob. This is the right time. I remember talking to John Mosliak, who was the GM of the Cardinals about 10 years ago when they won the World Series, and he said he got a call from the commissioner of baseball at the end of August of one year saying, hey, tough year, get them next time. And then they went bananas in the month of September and then carried it through. So they're hot at the right time. You got the Rockies coming in who stink and probably already have tee times for next week. And you do have to play the Dodgers in the last weekend of the season. And who knows what the Dodgers are going to be playing for, although they could be eliminated from the chance for a bye in the first round by then because of the Phillies. But they got the Padres breathing down on them, so you could get a motivated Dodgers team in there, which wouldn't be the best thing in the world.
Yeah, you were talking about Bob and the Houston Astros series. Bob had a tie on the doorknob, definitely. Watching that one.
Oh, no question. He was in heaven on that one.
Oh, as you say, Michael, it was absolutely delicious.
Yes,
Watching on their home field, taking the wind out of their sails.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, it's finally catching up to them because, I don't know. I feel like in the end, evil there's always justice served, but
it's taking its time, Dave.
Nothing to do with evil and justice. Seriously, what is this? Marvel universe or something? This has
yes.
to do with the Mariners are hot right now, and the Astros. Look, the one thing they've been doing for several years is just replacing players with younger players who come in and produce. And after a while, it's hard to do that. I mean, you look at that. I mean, the most egregious example of that is right now the Braves, who can't do anything. They were eliminated last week, which was, you're talking about delicious. That was a 7-course feast. So I was very happy to see that, and I'm happy to see the Mariners doing well. And it's interesting. There's debate out there. Do you want that bye? Yes, it saves your pitching staff. Yes, it allows you to set up your pitching staff for the LDS. But this isn't like the NFL where a week off lets everybody who's hurt and wounded heal. This is about, taking maybe away some momentum by not playing baseball for 5 or 6 days.
Did you see the Robles catch? That's one where, here's how I rank that one. I actually asked my wife to come in and watch it with me because she typically doesn't, like, oh, that's nice, honey. But, she was even impressed by that one. But that was one of the better plays I think we've seen in Major League Baseball when they do the web gem thing. I mean, you agree? That was just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, that was astounding. And I try to get my wife to pay attention to stuff in sports. And unless she's all of a sudden decided to be an Eagles fan this year, which is good. But, baseball, couldn't care less. Hockey, she won't even watch it if I have that on the bottom set. She's like, what are we watching this for? And basketball, she can't really keep track of. So I'll say, hey, take a look at this. And then she diverts her eyes over to like squirrel. So it's hard to do that.
Hey, what's your we were playing some cuts from Tiki Barber and what the hell's his
Evan something or other?
Yeah, so he's got a co-host there with a really shrill voice. But they were having a debate about the MVP, and obviously, look, they're the Drive Time show in New York. They're going to be talking in favor of Judge, which
Evan Roberts.
Evan Roberts, okay, and they were talking about basically making it sound like Cal Raleigh has no place in the discussion. That this is absurd, and he's got a big butt. How cute is that? That's great. The Judge has got all these numbers, and not a single mention of the position that this guy plays, a premium position, the most physically demanding position in all of baseball, and managing a rotation and a bullpen on top of what he's done offensively. And look, maybe he doesn't get the MVP, and that's okay if it happens. But to completely ignore that just screams to me: A, you're obviously pandering to the fan base, or B, you don't understand baseball very well.
Well, it's A and B, right? They're clearly pandering to the base. And look, as you said, right now Judge leads the American League in batting average, on base percentage, slugging, OPS plus, runs scored, walks. It's kind of ridiculous, okay? And he's got 49 homers and 105 RBIs. So to say that Raleigh doesn't belong is nuts. It's the most home runs ever by a switch hitter. It's the most home runs ever by a catcher. His team is leading its division and is in the second playoff spot right now with a chance at the first. I mean, there are only 2 games, I think, behind the Blue Jays, if my math is correct. So they're pandering. as I said before, or 3 games, excuse me, it's nice to have your player win the MVP. And I understand Seattle. Seattle's not a traditional, power team that everybody pays attention to across the nation. So getting the MVP would mean eyes are turned on the Mariners. As I said, though, winning some playoff series is a lot more fun. And you can talk about Cal Raleigh, and it would be great if he won it, but I'd rather get through the ALDS and the ALCS and play in the World Series and lose to the Phillies.
It kind of bouncing around here, but Green Bay at Dallas, that's got to be one. I'm glad that we have a Thursday night game so I can watch, Red Zone on that one. But it's going to be kind of interesting with the Micah Parsons trade to Green Bay there.
It is interesting, but I mean that really gets overblown because I don't think Jerry Jones is suiting up for the Cowboys. So it's not a situation where Micah Parsons is going to be able to meet Jerry Jones in the hole and deplete him. So there'll be a lot of pregame about that, a whole lot of nonsense, a lot of shots of false face up in the booth and all of that. That's great. But let's hope that Green Bay can beat Dallas by 90. That's what I'm more interested in.
I just wanted I wanted to get him to say false face.
Yeah, you don't have to try very hard. He'll do it. Michael, how much delight did you take in seeing what the Giants did and what they're going to do? And they're gonna bench Russell Wilson. They're gonna start their rookie Jackson Dart. I'm not sure how much better that'll make things. We'll find out. But I just picture you watching that with a giant smile on your face.
Oh yeah, it's great to see the Giants stink. It really is. And Brian Daboll's going to be gone soon, so. Jackson Dart is not ready for this yet. He's a rookie, and I'm not saying he won't be at some point, but he's got a bad team around him. His coaching staff has shown that it's not all that great. You got to love Russell Wilson, though. Played 3 games and made $8.5 million because his contract was front-loaded. So he's going to sit back with a clipboard and, that look on his face where he's sort of staring off into the distance, and he's going to be counting his money.
You think this is it for him? Do you think he's 14 years in the league? I mean, it's not like he's. I mean, he was a Pro Bowler last year. I don't know. I mean, the big value with him was always the deep ball, right? I mean, he could be the best deep ball thrower in the history of the NFL. But I don't know. You think he's out of gas after 14 years?
Oh, he was out of gas after 13 years. I can't believe the Giants gave him that much money. So the only thing that you're going to see now is this year's quarterback class is filled. There's a lot of people, so a team that needs a quarterback is going to draft one rather than go out and sign him. He sure as heck isn't making $10 million again next year. If he wants to be a second or a third quarterback, I'm sure he can take $1.5 million and go to a training camp and compete. But he doesn't have any juice left. It's just somebody who's hoping they can squeeze something out of him for a game or two if they need him. And whether he wants to go through that.
Hey, does the injury bug that seems to have hit this league hard early in the season and hitting some of the the bigger names, especially quarterbacks, whether it's Burrow or Purdy or any of these other guys, does that make it less appealing for you as a fan to watch some of these games, or is it just, do you take it as part of the game?
You know me well enough. I watch football. Okay, if last week Cincinnati, Minnesota, 2 backup quarterbacks. I'm watching the uniforms. I'm not necessarily watching the players. So I was very happy I love that it's back. I'll watch as much of it as I possibly can consume, and I spend all of the time waiting, in the off season waiting for football again, and by watching Canadian football and rebroadcasts of like MAC games from last year.
Hey, Michael, MLB announced they'll officially use the ABS challenge system beginning next season. I know we've talked about this with you a number of times, but we're headed towards just an automated strike zone, right? I mean,
yes.
At one point, I mean, and I'm actually for that because I used to say I do like watching. I like yelling at the TV for some reason. When the umpires get it wrong,
because it doesn't yell back at you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be one of those things in 5 to 7 years where we look back and go, why in the world didn't we use that before? You have the technology. What do you think?
I use my cigarette lighter in medieval times analogy. if you went back to the year 986 with a cigarette lighter and said, look, I can make fire with this, you'd be burned as a witch immediately, and they would use the lighter to light the fire. Okay? You got to go slow here. So you got to take your first step here with the ABS. So you get the challenge now. 2 challenges a game, etc. Eventually we're going to the other thing, and you're going to be eventually going to have it full on. But we can't go from 0 to that. We've got to take our requisite steps, get everybody comfortable with it, then we'll do it.
This is why we have El Hombre on. What was the year? 786?
986? 986.
Okay.
You burned a
cigarette lighter, 986. You're burned as a witch.
Well, Michael, the argument against is obviously from catchers who like to frame pitches, and it's a skill for a lot of these catchers, and they still can do that with the challenge system. You only get 2 challenges a game unless you keep winning them, but it's not like you're going to challenge every pitch. But when they do go full ABS, which I think will happen eventually, it does eliminate that. Is that something you look at as a great loss in taking a tool out of the toolbox of what these guys really do well, some of them?
I will quote Boris Karloff in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Boo, hoo, hoo. I couldn't care less that a catcher is going to lose one of his great skills of stealing strikes from unwitting umpires. Let the computer choose it. Let the buffoons behind the plate just let them get a little beep in their ear and call ball or strike and get it right.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say maybe it's the NBA, and I really don't pay close attention to the NBA, but the officials, who are the cockiest officials? I feel like it's in baseball typically, where they try to make themselves part of the show more than, and I would say NFL. I'll defend the NFL referees just because my experience was that they were always there to help me, and they were nice about it, and and I got a few warnings, where I remember one time I pushed Elway after he threw a ball, and he's like, oh, was that a little Stanford love tap there? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, well, next time I'm going to have to flag you on that. So, I mean, that was sort of the attitude, whereas I feel like Major League Baseball might be the ones where there's the biggest egos.
I would say hockey officials have the least egos because they're out there on the ice. They got to know how to skate. They got to know how to move. They got to get in the middle of all these farmers from Saskatchewan and Czech Republic goons who are trying to beat each other up. They got to get so they got the least ego. Then it's the NFL. Although if you look at every referee who's going to be on TV, I think they're lifting weights before the game to make their guns look as big.
There is a lot of that.
Wearing shirts 2 sizes too small. But that's fine. Let them preen for the cameras. Then it's the NBA, and the NBA will talk to the players too. You'll see that. Major League Baseball, those guys are arrogant. They're protected by the strongest referee union in all of sports, and they don't listen to anything, and they throw people out with impunity, and they're backed up by the league. So, yeah, I can't stand them. There's no other game I go to when they announce the officials that I boo them robustly like I do Major League Baseball umpires, and I don't usually yell at the umps in any other referees in any other sport, but I sure as heck am going to give them as much as I got when they're out on the diamond, because those guys stink. And they're arrogant and they stink.
Yeah. Angel Hernandez.
They're bad and they're not nice.
Well, and you talk about their union. It is. You're right. I mean, to fail as consistently as some did, Angel Hernandez at their job and basically have a job in perpetuity. It is amazing. Did you have a favorite that you like to get, whether it was Angel with the CB Buckner, Joe West, any of these guys that you really took great delight in letting them have it?
I'm going way back to the 70s and 80s, but John McSherry. John McSherry was as round as a keg of beer, and he was rotten. And I loved yelling at him. He was horrible. Cowboy Joe West was part of the show after a while. You understood what he was about. Angel Hernandez he's just a complete incompetent. And then there's C.B. Buckner.
Laz Diaz.
It goes on and on. They're just really bad. But
we shouldn't know their names, Michael.
We
shouldn't know their names.
You're right. You're right. I mean, we used to know the NBA, Mindy Rudolph. From now you're too old or young to remember him, and
Dick Bavetta,
Jake O'Donnell, Dick Bavetta. But those and those guys back in the old days, it was great. And like if a guy made a layup and got fouled, the referee would come from midcourt skipping in and throw the two fingers down and back up to signal the call. Or even better, the guy who was waving something off, flying in from midcourt on his back foot, dragging it along, waving his hands. No, we're going the other way. They were a little too much back then, but it was still fun.
I remember, I don't know who the official is that's in the middle of the field, but his name was Bob Wagner, and he's a big dude.
Umpire.
Yeah. And every once in a while he would stand like in my vision as a linebacker, and I'd reach over and just kind of push him back, and he had no problem with that. But I remember having a conversation with him one time. I'm like, and I was screaming and yelling and everything. He's like, okay, what's going on, Dave? And I'm like, I'm getting taken down. Like, this is WWE here. I mean, it's ridiculous. And he's like, okay, well, I'll watch out for it. And I'm like, and I responded, I'm like, well, I'm starting to get used to it. And he's like, oh, man, that's cold. Why would you say that to me? But that was always, those guys
You said that to an umpire? If you said that to a baseball umpire, you're gone.
Oh, my. Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Run.
Yeah,
they're very sensitive,
and that's they are, and it's rabbit ears. They're always listening for somebody. I told you the one with the replacement umpire because one guy was on vacation, so they called a guy up from AAA, and I could tell he was from AAA because the number on his arm was like 187, so you could tell he wasn't one of the main umpires. And he made a bad call, and I'm in row 11. Behind the Phillies dugout, and it's nice and quiet, and I yell, "You'll be back in Pawtucket tomorrow, 187." And he turned around and looked at me. It was beautiful. I stood up, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's me."
Yeah. You're trolling in person. Is what you're doing.
Exactly.
Beautiful. He is El Hombre. Michael Bradley with us each and every week is where you find him right here. Tuesdays at 5 p.m. And you can also find him on Twitter at Daily Hombre. Michael, we appreciate you, my friend. Have a great week. We'll talk again next week.
So long, suckers.
There he goes, everybody, in all of his glory. You like that comment about the lighter and being a witch burned at the stake?
Only he could come up with something like that. He's right, though.
In year 980 something, whatever.
The only thing is the car lighter, like, what do you plug it into?
I don't know. It's some sort of sorcery.
We got to address the car issue for
that. The Mariners, by the way, are hosting the Rockies tonight, and the T-Mobile Park roof will most certainly be open. Another beautiful night for baseball out there. That's the Mariners Roof Report, brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. I can't wait to get out there tonight. I just want to feel the buzz of the stadium to see if the Yankees hold on and
go into the game.
Yeah.
Are you going to be down with the common unwashed, or are you up in the
No, I'll be up in the press box.
Oh.
I hope it packs out. The Dodgers series, I believe, is sold out. That series is sold out. So I hope it's close. I know it's midweek. It's the Rockies, the worst team in baseball. I get all of that, but man, this team is rolling. We've seen how they respond to the noise in that building. They comment on it unprompted every time.
Yeah,
they truly do take notice of it, and they say it every time. So I hope it's packed for these 3 games because there's a lot on the line. And man, if they can lock it up tonight, lock up a postseason spot, and then lock up the division title in the series, unbelievable, man.
Just don't get in between Lefko and the ice cream machine while you're up in the press box.
We may have to fight. All right. Reminder, Justin Hollander, Mariners GM, will join us in person tomorrow right out of the gates at 2 p.m. So do not miss that. That's going to do it for us today. I want to thank our guests, DeAnthony Bell, Mark Schlereth, and El Hombre Michael Bradley for joining us on the program. If you missed any part of today's show, you can find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here with Wyman and Bob.
It's been a while since we talked magic number around here. This team does that, or whoever beats the other whoever, and yeah, it's a lot. So here's a nerd who can help.
The Mariners win 3 games, Mariners win 1, the Astros lose 2, or a combination of the Tigers, the Red Sox.
Hey, thanks, Lefko. Steamrolling toward the postseason tonight. Mariners and Rockies at T-Mobile. First pitch 6:40.
Chants of the crowd getting louder and louder.
On the home of your first place Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling September 29th. Free Good to Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a main view home. Now imagine a main view home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought? Yeah, it's a main view, and they saved a bundle. What are you doing? Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a main view home? A main view home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
Open enrollment for Medicare is coming up. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the consumer man here. Get organized early with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything, but while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
I'm Brent, and I've been on Nutrafol for almost 5 years now. I liked Nutrafol because it was a hair growth supplement that was completely drug-free. After 3 months, my hair got stronger and thicker, which gave a huge boost to my social life. I mean, it was life-changing, to be honest.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com/men. That's Nutrafol.com/MEN. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Real customers were compensated to share their stories.
It's the Mariners' push to the playoffs.
Blasted right field. Goodbye, Josh Naylor.
And it's only on Seattle Sports.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO